Hello everyone and welcome back to ESL Challenger League. It is the continuation of the playoffs here in Europe. We're on the second day of playoffs and the action does not stop. My name is Lacey. Joining me on the B stream today, as always, is B-Dog. Brandon, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Excited to be here for another jam-packed evening of playoffs action in the Challenger League. Let's have a look at the format. Let's see how we got here. First off, we'll also talk about the prize pool in just a moment. But as you can see, we're all the way at the end of the graphic. We're in the playoffs, 10 participating teams. It is a double elim best of 3 bracket until you get to that best of 5 grand final. It's not a true best of 5 because whoever comes through the upper bracket will already have that default 1 and 0 next to their name. And here's where we find ourselves in this upper bracket with Betera versus Bait.
Yes, and yeah, only 8 teams remaining now, actually. We have lost 2 so far, as we've already had that first round of games play out. Yeah, we'll take a look at what everyone is fighting for. Those prize pools will be up on your screen in a second. And outside of just this amazing prize pool in general, which obviously has a lot of impact with VRS, meaning that the more money you win, the more VRS points you gain. There's also, obviously, if you win that grand final, the coveted ESL Pro League spot, which I think for many of these teams would mean a great deal. Tier 1 LAN experience and an opportunity to test your mettle against the very best. And we can now take a look at the state of play, the bracket, and where we are at coming into today. We've had that first round already play out. So 4 games have concluded. That was Paravision, Bait, Rush B and Spirit Academy winning out on day 1. So sadly, Fabbet and Namiga, their Challenger League playoff run had to come to a conclusion.
Very difficult games in the lower bracket as well, because you've got Navi Junior, who've just come off the recent tournament over at Thunderpick where they won that spot for the closed qualifier. They battled out against 24 other teams and they played out that grand final today. So they go against Rush B with really good momentum on their side. And Spirit Academy are currently on LAN, and Zero Tenacity have been struggling quite a lot. So I fully expect Spirit Academy and Navi Junior, these academy teams, to progress forward in that lower bracket. But we're focusing on the upper bracket, as we've already said. Bait versus Betera is here on the B stream. On the A stream is Sinners taking on Paravision. If you do want to catch the action of Spirit Academy and their game on Zero Tenacity, that's on the C stream today. But we should probably have a little chat about Betera, because I imagine the question on most people's minds is, who are Betera and where have they come from? Well, this team has been sort of circulating around Tier 2, Tier 3 for a little while now. This team has been, to be honest, not together for a great deal of time, but it's Masval, Vert, Height, Tenzi, and Cynics. Vert, Height, and Cynics, and Masval, to be fair, have had a lot of experience in Tier 2 and Tier 3, and they come together to form this squad. We can have a look at the veto as well, Lucy. We can see the flyover of Mirage, and that means that we've got that first. Of course, it's Bait picking into that one, and then we've got Train.
Okay, yeah, this is where there was kind of a bit of like options, right, for where this veto could go, because Bait, as we said yesterday when we covered them, they play the full map pool, so they have a lot of leeway as to where their ban can go in that first stage. Nuke is their weakest map, but I guess what's surprising here is I just don't think you would expect Betera to pick Nuke. It's probably their weakest map too, right? It's one that they've only won, I think, once of the 6 officials they've played this year. So banning out Nuke just to play it safe, you can understand it because you are the absolute favorites coming into this and you prefer to play the maps that you've got more reps on and ones that aren't avoiding your weakest map completely. So I can understand it on that front, but I love it from Betera. You know, why not try and punish with this Train pick that you've been, at least in your limited run on it, undefeated, right? 4 wins on this map. No team they've gone up against has gotten double digits. We're talking Zero Tenacity, Incilio, Sashi, and 500. So, you know, pretty decent teams in the Tier 2 space, to be honest, to have not even, got double digits against Betera on. So, yeah, I kind of like the pick. I think it's really fun.
Yeah, Cynics and Masval are very good players on this map for Betera as well, which helps out a lot considering that they're statistically 2 of the players you sort of look to in this team. They've also got an AWPer called Height, who, I'll be honest, I was pretty big on before he got dropped by Amcal, and then they picked up Molodoi, who is obviously now Myria. So it's interesting to sort of see that Height's career progression, because he was originally in the Cloud9 Academy, then moves to Amcal, was doing really well in Amcal alongside AW, and then somehow finds himself on this Betera team, out of favor with Amcal, and is looking, and to be honest, most of these players right now, what they're looking to do is put a spotlight on themselves, go as deep as they can. Getting this victory against Bait would be an unbelievable upset, but it also puts you on the radar to be picked up by other teams.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great win for their VRS as well, right? Because there's a big discrepancy between these two squads. I think if I'm just taking a look at the HLTV forecast, yeah, it'd be a 10-spot gain, so pretty decent. It's actually surprising it's not more, considering Betera is number 96 in the world and Beta number 18. Beta are on, their stocks are so high. I mean, you guys all know Bait at home. I'm sure if you're here, you're probably a Bait fan. That's what the B stream is on this this playoff week, it seems. But yeah, they've been on such a high, so many deep runs. Obviously, just came off the LAN over in Mongolia, where they didn't get to the grand final, but a third place with some very impressive teams there, I think, is a decent run to post for them in their build up to the major, which obviously they just qualified for with that nail biter in the MRQ. And I think when we look at this entire playoff bracket, to be honest, I think Beta are my favorites to just win this entire Challenger League, to be honest. So they should be able to pretty simply get past Betera, and if they struggle here, that's when you might throw some questions.
I don't think they will, to be honest. I think you got to actually just take a look at the numbers and the reputation of Bait as well. They're a very scary opposition to go into and face here. I guess you've kind of got a middle ground if you're Betera, thinking, okay, well, this is a bit of a puggy map, Mirage. But no, look, Bait have been winning this so consistently as well. They broke their loss streak on this map yesterday against Zero Tenacity, and they were never in danger against Zero Tenacity on Mirage in particular. They were so good on this map. Head Trick, MPL was shining, and that's even before you talk about the likes of Kenzizor, who's going to be aggressive, who I think will be let off the leash today by MPL, and he'll say, do you know what, Kenzizor, if you feel like you've got to play, go and do it, because he is one of the most aggressive players we've got in tier 2. Betera need to be careful, otherwise Kenzizor is going to run them over.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no need to continue off things. Our game is ready to go. The opening game map here between Betera and Bait. We're kicking off on Mirage. Bait's map pick. One of the strongest tier 2 teams on this map. Looking to start off this series with a bang, because Train waits in the wings, and that is a little bit of a tricky customer for Bait. So a lot of eyes on that map, but we've got to get through Mirage first. What sort of fight can Betera show?
Let's have a look. And keep your eye out for Cynics and Vert. I think they're definitely players to keep your eye on for Betera. Obviously, outside of Height, the Orpa, and Tenzi having a little look immediately into top middle and gets his head ripped off. This is the danger already with 1 kill deep that I'm going to worry and mention for Betera early on, and I'm not going to talk about it again. It's the fact that I don't think their trade spacing is going to be amazing. I feel like they're just going to want to take fights against Bait, and that's going to be dangerous. Height caught with his pants down. MPL just removes him immediately.
Yeah, we see him getting a lot of leverage out of this window position. The boost up during that game versus Zero Tenacity. Picks up a USP without the silencer on. Simple style. I suppose Modesty now has made his name doing that too. But this is a cleanup. Nothing yet found. But will reveal himself, but for naught. So couldn't go much better for Bait if they liked it. And it's pretty simple. Everyone kind of contributes there. Head Trick not even necessary. Starts to Kenzizor getting that kill. A quick acceleration up into window when they hear that player fall back. And from there, it's easy enough to overwhelm the A-bomb site. I'm
really interested now in what Train's going to look like for Betera, because that round is damning already. Look, I spoke about the lack of trade spacing, but that was all individual. And it felt like no one had really any idea what was going on. Height's not prepared for someone's jump in the window. The player in short just doesn't really look at anything apart from top middle. And now Mazvar was just trying to get aggressive alongside Tenzi, and MPL was just taking all of their heads off. He finds 3. This round's basically done, and that was a 4-spy. Felt like an eco.
Yep, the A-bomb side is a morgue right now. MPL's wondering where they are. Want some more? Won't be giving them. Cynics and High will be hanging out. Maybe a chance to catch somebody. That's kind of your best case scenario now. Cynics could potentially find this kill into Essential. I mean, it's a Mac-10, which isn't even a great weapon to bring over, but that could be something. And then, you know, at least you can put a fight into next round. Oh, dying to the nade.
Yeah. This is, again, what this is also is a symptom of not having enough officials, and it's a bit unfair to kind of give that over to Betera and say, well, you've not played enough officials, guys. Well, let's think about reasoning. Let's think about justification as to why they've not been playing many officials. Firstly, their VRS is really low, which means they don't get invited to all of the Tier 2 events. Number two, CCT, the biggest advocate for Tier 2 Counter-Strike, Tier 3, honestly is a heartbeat of the online seasons at the moment, hasn't been here for like 3 months. So you can't really compete in those. And if you can't get by the closed qualifiers, which these guys will start to be invited to in the next coming weeks, then you, again, don't get any of the Swiss stages, which means you don't get minimum of 3 games, which means you can't earn your VRS, and you're stuck. This is what some of the danger is sometimes with VRS. It's every single game matters, and when you're coming up against teams that realistically you're not going to be beating, such as Bait, it just makes it even more tricky. And sure, you won't lose the most amount of VRS points, but it still makes everything feel a lot more challenging. And that's one of the restrictions of VRS, and that's why sometimes an open circuit, quote unquote, it doesn't really feel that open, because for Betera, they've done so good to get ECL playoffs. Hopefully, when the event ends, their VRS will skyrocket and they'll have the opportunity to get some of these officials and more events under their belt.
So that's the way the nade kill came through. Appreciate the slow-mo there. Full eco comes out, and Bait keep it simple. Pack tactics in towards middle. They can just brawl, they can just charge. Sensual looks to maybe put some eco frags for that one Mac 10. So far, no casualties at all for the T side. And I think we're going to get 3 rounds in without anyone dying on Bait's side. Yeah, I feel like this is going to be, for all the reasons... Oh, no, I jinxed it. Well, for all the reasons that you kind of just put out about VRS and, you know, the amount of officials they're getting and all the rest. But it's also now, you compared this Bait to yesterday, they kind of just got off the planes from Mongolia, right? Like, they come off this land run. They've had a bit of time to reset now, to rest, like, physically. I think they're going to come into today just looking to make a really quick work of their opponent.
I think that's the key thing as well. I actually do think that because you've got that attitude shift of, okay, guys, we're rested now, but also let's just get this best of 3 out of the way, then we can have more rest. That's probably also entering into their heads. This is a dream draw for Bait, and they're going to look to, I think, flex their muscles. It would not surprise me if they keep things simple. They just keep running faster plays. Nice attempt from Tenzi, but it doesn't work. Counter flashbangs are really good from the CTs, but also from the T side. Kenzi's all just keeps going. A break on the connector smoke. Vert is now dealt with. There's one player in short. There's one player in CT. A compromised round, probably gone.
Yeah, not even ready for Essential to be that deep. There's that aggression that you highlighted from Kenzi's ult.
Yeah.
Oh, now he's just using his utility to remove this AWP. 5 HP height, yep. Kenzor will convert his triple. Lightning fast first gun round. There's really not much that Betera have to say in it.
Yeah, it's a shame because, look, Tenzi, Height, Vert are really aggressive players. And Maslow is as well to a certain extent. And the issue you've got with that is you've got a stylistic clash because guess what? Bait love to play aggressive and they can do it better than you. Just because, look, they're a major qualified team now and we've seen the run that they've been on. That's not me being horrible or disrespectful to Betera. It's just the reality of the situation. And Height starting slow is a little bit of a worry. He got the AWP out and he has to get a kill, which amounts to a save. And in fact, it doesn't even save the AWP. Double scouts, MP9, another AXX for Bait. They're just going to rinse and repeat these fast strats just out the door.
Yeah, nice and simple. It's a 3-player lane towards B side too. So the defense is very limited. Vert's just got a deagle in jungle. And then you've got this scout or these players without armor. So you're going to require some pretty cheeky shots coming out. Looking for a head. They're scaling fast, and he keeps having to fall back one step at a time. And with each step, his chances dwindle. Now he does huge amounts of damage. Big group up in towards CT spawn. Kenzor needs to be careful. Nade won't affect him. And he swings out, lines them up. Lack of armor not helping out too much there. There's that headshot. Comes a little too late, but maybe there's still a chance for damage if that kill had come through. Perhaps there was a way to achieve something in this round, but now MPL is just going to hold down left trigger.
Brilliant. Look at how well they do this. Even with an A rush, you put the smokes down in towards mid just to keep the rotates a little bit at bay, and then you smoke off your normal classic jungle stairs. You use the nade, you use the molly. You know it's a scout. You can just force him back with all the util, and the flames just keep him in CT spawn. He gets his kill even deeper than when he first spawned in on the map by the game. 5-0. You got the AWP out for height. He needs to make things happen here. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long day in the office, figuratively, for Betera. Kenzie's all seen him, I think.
Something. Oh, this is a good little crunch. They've not spotted him. Alex has just walked through. They have no idea. That's remarkable. The timing on that, but he's not able to get too much off it. Will eventually find that kill. Little does he know it, there is no one on this A side of the map. So he will be caught out trying to find a bit of space, but Betera, whether by design or not, have everyone kind of grouped up in good places to deal with this B hit.
They're worried about A. Look at Masval. Masval's not actually gone in towards TV. Hyde's still looking at the market window, and he gets a whiff of one. Nice shot onto MPL. And now he can move back. On the jump, he sees another, but Essential just punishes. Now, Masval is on this lurk. It is a 2v3. You can get the bomb down. There's no one to immediately disrupt this, but Bait have to be aware that there could be players behind because of that Alex timing in COD.
I think with the way this is played out, you just have no info. So, yeah, you've got to play a bit more defensively. In fact, they're going to scale closer towards market. An easier place to take that control. Masval has spotted one player. Oh, and with Hedrick hitting the deck, Essential's position is known. Tries to swing, but Masval never let go of the angle. So, Betera will find their first round. And it comes off a really successful mid-crunch.
Yeah, and nice holds from height as well, because he just moves back to a safer angle on B, but he's always holding that apartments cross. And that's all he needs to do. He just needs to get us the info. He hits a really nice headshot on the guy just poking into his angle. He then jump spots, sees another, goes for the second shot, but ultimately gets traded out. But he's done enough, because that means that Masval's rotate can come in from TV room, and it means that the players can just reset and go in towards short, because he's got the further info that no one is coming in from short. It's all towards the apartment side. So good work from the AWPer. Betera will earn that first round. Let's not count them out just yet. They're getting consecutive in a row. That's the next objective on their mission to having a successful CT side.
And again, it's going to be this fight. Check out this double layering into what's underpass. Height will swivel now, and MPL trying to crawl on him, not able to deal with that AWP. Gensel just going to ignore him. He's just going to scale up towards the connector and find another kill. Tenzi tries to get something back, but it's going to be Masval that finds success. In this brawly CS, it's working out great for Betera. Bomb is planted, but it's a 2-on-4 for Bait.
Yeah, good work, though, from Masval. Hedrick's now walked through the connector and he hears Tenzi jump in towards the window. So that's info. You might not know about Masval. Now, Masval loves a lurk. That is something that you will just have to anticipate when you watch Masval play. And he's been in the scene since 2021, if not before, so I feel like you should be a little bit familiar with his game plan. Alex needs to check ramp in a second, but so much pressure being applied to CT. They can just delay. They can lock in Alex, and now here goes Masval. He'll grab one, and you know Hedrick was over towards connector. Masval dealt with Hedrick. Now trying to secure the digits, but unfortunately for him... Oh. It's completely fine. What? How? I'm stunned. I'm so stunned.
They were waiting for this flank, and Masval just took too long. I think even if Hedrick hadn't got that kill into Masval, he'd already won the round. Like, no one was going to get there in time.
I guess they got so caught up in the moment, because I'm looking at this, and I didn't... Masval gets that kill. Maybe.
No, I don't think he could have. No, I don't think he could have. Yeah, they just took too long.
What?
That's a real fumble.
Yeah, massively. That they had the advantage. It was a 4v2.
I can't believe it.
I think you're right. I feel like they wanted to rely so much on Masval's flank, but at that point, you just got to scale out. You just got to swing out CT, because he can just play late. Because if you fan out wide, Alex is going to be stuck in the corner just staring at him. Masval can start running and get the kill, and then Hedrick has to be forced out the corner over towards jungle. Yeah, they took way too long. That is a really big blunder. I got so caught up in just the action, I didn't even notice the clock. That's a nightmare.
And also, they lost everybody in the end then. Like, that was super costly. Bomb explosion took down 2. shocking way for that round to end. But I will at least start this round well. On to Alex, just trying to slowly patrol.
I hope this best of three is a good showing for Height, because I'm very much up on him.
Okay, well he's doing decent so far. 2 rounds in a row where he's found the opening pick. And ones without an immediate trade too, so having a fair bit of early impact. All-time smoke. Betera going to keep this simple. It's going to be straight into A, but there are 2 players at site, and Tenzi's not far away.
Vert's repositioned as well. He was over towards default, and I was just tucked in towards firebox. This is a much trickier angle to kill if you're bait, because it's more committed. You have to go a little bit wider if you're essential. Time's ticking. Again, we speak about time a lot here in that previous round, obviously. But look, 35 seconds. The attention being made over towards CT. You have to clear out firebox. Vert is just sitting in. Is Ken still going to consider it? No, he doesn't. And there's no immediate follow-up trades until the last dying embers. It's MPL, Essential, and Headtrick all finding kills. 2 and 4 HP. And MPL's now dealt with. This retake is still looking tangible.
Yeah, MPL was the one that could have won the round if he gets that frag, but with such little HP on both Headtrick and Essential, this is definitely on. Height's actually swapped to the M4, so they're very aware of this health issue. A reroute from Headtrick to try and play the clutch at the end, but the smoke going onto the bomb will make this tricky. Might not be the best smoke, actually, looking at it, but the kills come through instantly anyway. With such little HP, Bait felt like they had to play Forg when that smoke lands, and they do not find their mark. Oh, you know
amazingly,
what? If they just sat back, they might have won it.
Yeah, if they just sat back for an extra like 2-3 seconds. But how can you anticipate that none of them will have kits? You feel like some sacrifices would have potentially been made. Massive impact from Vert, because sure, he only gets 1 kill, but does so much damage to soften up the rest of Bait. You feel like Bait had just left that way too long. 35 seconds, all the kills come in, you think, okay. But you're bang on the money. If MPL gets that 1 kill in towards jungle, it's the entire round changed. You feel like you can't go for it if you're Height, and you just got to save, and it would have been 7-1. Instead, finally, a little bit of a breakthrough. Money is still on thin ice for Betera. If Bait win this, they reset them, and they can continue on their way. Betera need to win this round.
To recover a bit of something. Can't all just be Height. Has been very, very solid thus far. Starting middle, no smoke on window. Will come late, so we've locked off now. The rest of his team comes to crunch, but at the same instance, Betera is going fast B. They are streaming in, and there is no one here. It's an entirely short setup. And Headtrick misses the mark. That has given the room for players to come over. Height's found a kill. That's from in towards market. Bomb not down. MPL feeling a little uncomfortable. Waiting to drop that utility. Will now tap the bomb, hoping for the swing, and punishes Height. That is cheeky.
Oh, but Tenzi and Cynic's just swinging from short. MPL with another crucial trade, and MPL finds another one. And you still know that Tenzi was out in towards short because he picked up that kill. And Vert's the A player, so you assume market. 2 versus 2. HP advantage is still with the T side, with Alex dealing with Tenzi. It just leaves Vert. And it's an easy headshot collection for Alex. It's a great round out of Bait. A good read on the setup as well, because Betera have been fighting mid pretty consistently.
MPL does a brilliant job in the site itself just to deal with the really fast rotations. That fake out to catch out Height was really nice. Gets a follow through as well. And yeah, perfect read. Betera found so much success with these middle crunches so far. They've actually won that out more often than not, it feels. So Bait get the sense that's coming, go for a direct beat. Sure, it could have been a bit cleaner on the entry, but they get the job done. MPL, here's a push forward. There's more behind it, and he's not ready for 2. That's a lot of info. Oh, the bomb's here. Oh my god, he keeps pushing. Essential's inside, that's why. Okay,
well,
they've got them trapped. You gotta be wondering how he even got there.
Surely you expect Palace, guys. Like, surely you expect Palace.
3 push down ramp is crazy, by the way.
They really wanted that trade. As Bait have been able to get the opening kill. More often than not, when they get the opening kill, they just win the round. Yeah, in that previous round, Hype push in off of the bomb tap, feeling like he has to do something. That is the one criticism of his game that you can look to, because he is very aggro to the point where he feels like he always has to be the guy. And he didn't need to move there from Market Door. If he just holds the line in towards Van, then the short players can step in, as they did. If the short players stepped in and they've still got the AWP support, that round goes a lot better in the previous. Height reminds me an awful lot of Artfrost, which is kind of ironic because Artfrost is now playing on Amcal, standing in for them on loan. And obviously that's where Height originally came from, so... Funny how Counter-Strike works. I can't believe they're not ready for Palace, though. That's a gross miscommunication that has come back to bite Betera.
Well, I mean, on some level, like, they might have glanced up at Palace when they came back up from ramp, but, like, I don't think you're expecting someone under Shadow. That's kind of crazy. I love the way Essential just slots himself in there. Very cheeky. Well, that's now a little sad, but again, Hyde has found success in opening kill, set up by his teammates who all congregate in middle once more. He will be punished eventually. The swing out, and that was a chance, and Cynics will collect his. Ooh. Hedrick, careful. Oh, Hedrick loves to swing with the pistol.
He does.
Misses the AWP shot. All right, time to pull out the sidearm.
You know Masval's the B player. You just get the bomb, you come A, Hedrick can just lock over CT. MPL's even juggling smokes as well, just to make sure everything is under lock and key. It's going to be 9-2 with the capacity to make 10-2. This is the quickest game we've got so far on all the streams. A little update for you is that Spirit Academy are beating Zero Snasty 5-0, and Paravision and Sinners, that is 4-3 in favour of Paravision.
I feel like that one's going to be a close affair on the A stream.
It will be.
What do you think to the current form of Sinners in particular?
Really, really inconsistent, which is such a shame because at the first 2 months of 2025, I was really excited for them. And they've just dropped off a cliff, unfortunately. But again, they suffered, honestly, a similar fate as Betera, where it's lack of officials. You have to compete in European Pro League, which they won, which is really good to see. But when CCT returns, I think they'll return as well, because this team are grinders and they're used to 2-3 best of 3s a day. So you have a few weeks off without play and it feels really weird. I do think that's the best iteration of Sinners so far.
Yeah, young Orpa. Exciting. Speaking of young Orpas, Height in towards short, wants his fight. Flashbang to set Kenzizor up, but Tenzi is there to come and punish. So again, Terra finding opening picks in middle very consistently. Beta being playing a little too loose at times with this. I saw that against Zero Tenacity at times too, where they were playing a bit individual when it came to middle. Essential, he's just trickled out and will run away.
Poor Vert. He's just being punished time and time again. All eyes on Height again with Cynics. Height looking to take first contact. Cynics playing anti-flash. And Height will find the kill. I had a little look, actually. Height is 5-0 in opening kills for Betera.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
And yet it's 9-2. This should be a lock-in. It should be the third round because you've got that flank out of Tenzi. And Height just keeps finding impact. Another kill, locked in. Cynics finds another. And now it's all on Essential. He's probably going to catch this nade. Never mind. Cynics' bullets will do the job. 9-3 as we head into our half-time break.
fast affair for the first half, with Bait setting the tempo, a dominant T side, but some bright showings from the Orpa of Height, solid on those opening kills, but ended up being 5-0 throughout, as you highlighted, Brandon. So a little bit of something for Betera to work with as they go into their T side.
Hope so. I think, look, they could probably put these opening kills to good use on T side. Let's see if that form will continue here. Very slow. Trying to find these openers. Masval potentially walking into his doom. Oh, there you go. Didn't even see it, but Essential just grabs that kill. It feels like it's just going to be a fake now on towards B. The bomb should move over. They're just dropping utility, and that anchors Bait for just a moment, but they don't hear anything off the back of it. So maybe an excursion in towards middle. Height has to contend with MPO. Is in a tricky angle in the window.
It's crazy just how there's just no one on this A side of the map. They're just playing jungle, that's it. MPL is going to finally swing and doesn't quite get what he wanted, but a lot of damage plus information on that bomb. Essential can now prowl and keep an eye. Whoa! All right.
What?
Kendrick gets that kill anyway. That was ridiculous. Bro flew around the corner from an angle just no one would ever expect it.
That round actually looked okay in terms of it's a 4v4. You've got really good space. As you said, no one's on A, really. And suddenly you look at the kill feed and everyone's dead. And it's like, right, okay, Bait, sure.
That's kind of how the first, 3 or 4 rounds played out as well in the first half. Well, not going to be anything invested here for Betera. So they're going to do this the hard way. Fleeko, Alex. Oh, careful. Gone the wrong way.
Get him there. No.
There we go. Oh, Alex. Well, hold on. Bomb plant? Yeah, nice. That's a big win.
Is it?
Wait, when there were Glocks.
Yeah, true. But it is 11-3. So I guess I'm a little bit concerned. You got to be all in. You got to make this gun round count, otherwise you are squashed and you're moving on to your map picker train, hoping for something a bit better. The issue is that it feels like there's not really been too much of a fight here on Mirage, not just because of the scoreline, but just because of the rounds as well. None of them were really that closely contested in terms of when Bait were winning them. And even here, yes, you get the bomb down, but everyone stays alive within the first 20 seconds. Everyone's dead.
That's what these AKs can do. Default, but a bit of a heavier lean towards A. 2 at ramp. Alex just has an MP9 to contend with any sort of aggression here. Not exactly what you want. Decent for this fight onto Cynics. Both of them are going to be holding for each other. Alex decides to fall down.
Oh, he's going to take the fight.
The timing looks decent, but then that swing comes. He does a lot of damage, and that is info 2 in towards ramp.
Can Kenzizor see Masval? No. So Masval's holding for a punish, but look, this silent jump boost out of Kenzizor. So Masval's got no info that he's actually being spotted for. He pokes his head around the corner. That's just info given over towards Kenzizor, and his defense is about to be tested. Him and Headtrick move over to B, and that's exactly where the bomb's going.
Okay, well that's Headtrick with the smoke as well, so if Kim's still dropping this one, they can essentially just block the ways. He might need to use his in short though, because he does have that pressure coming. First kill will be pretty easy. Tenzi is very low, so that one comes through free, and now you're starting to feel that pressure. You're aware of that split. The HE goes forward, doesn't find its mark, but Headtrick's reposition is fantastic. Now drops that smoke. Starting to work around. Kenzizor can't get his, and Headtrick gets spammed down. There has been a slip in, but it's been spotted. Hyde's trying to run him down. MPL will get the kill. Hyde taps the bomb, trying to fake it out, and that costs the round. There's no time. Burke gets there too late, and he'll go down after it. Oh, no. Yeah, exactly. Nice try.
That's now happened twice now with them and the bomb. First was in the first half when they didn't have enough time and the bomb exploded. This time, Height's like, oh, a quick kill. I'll plant. And he even went in the corner. If he just sticks to the bomb plant, you can make it a 1v1. There would have been time for the jungle player to get there potentially. It would have been tricky with the defuse, but by not planting the bomb, you never give your team a chance to win the rounds. 12-3, and also no money extra from even planting that bomb. But Tenzi gets an opening kill again. This is something Betera have been so good at, the opening kills, but not winning the rounds.
Yeah, it's the key thing. Alex is just hiding. MPL will remove Height, who's standing in the flames, and Alex is looking for this timing. Waiting for the moment to strike, and it's with all backs turned, but he's only good for the one. A lot of damage inflicted. Essential has a chance to clutch this, but they've fallen back. They've run away. The disengage means that Essential has to make the call. Does he want to stay present here or try and cut them off at B? There's a lot of time on the clock.
He's thrown a nade to guarantee them to rotate. But he's taking it slow because he obviously is a little bit worried about middle. Vert's 1 HP. Doesn't see anything in towards the market window. And will just use his life to maybe give a chance. Essential has seen a pixel of Vert. But did Vert spot him? No. Tenzi, back sight. It's a good clear. It's scary, but he gets the kill. And Betera will stay alive for at least one more. Probably a second one more. Because there's no money.
True. Alex had the chance to just win the entire round right there. Oh, it's messy. Bites a bit more than he can chew. I think he sort of fully finished that first spray and was ready for the third kill, but you need the second first.
Score update at the half times for the other two games. So Arsenal's Power Vision is 6-6. Spirit Academy, Zero Snasty. That one's 6-5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Zero Snasty brought their way back in. Rushby vs Navi Jr. is not on stream. That's another game playing out in the lower bracket. Rushby 11-3.
I really feel like Navi Jr. should be winning that game. So it's really interesting that Rushby giving them the screws on map 1. It's going to be another one of these A plays. Rotations are here. In fact, everyone just rotates over, and Masval catches one in the window, but can't confirm the kill.
Going to be a whole lot of players here. 3 in CT there to swing it out. Essential, just wide swings and gets that kill. Now, Celtics going to try and play around this smoke, but they know he's here is the problem. The molly not deep enough. That could have spread on and removed Essential immediately, but instead, I mean, it will give some space. They can get this bomb down. And Mackenzie's all low. And with Essential falling, this now looks good. A fast fight forward. Alex tries to punish, but Tenzi has had a fantastic round. Hetrick finally finds a kill back, but Tenzi is in a powerful position to play, and it's only Kenzie's all left, and he hits the deck. Cynics with 2 more, and Betera start to get this T-side rolling.
Yeah, good work from Tenzi. Was interested to watch him because I've not had a chance to cover Betera at all, especially with all these recent signings and additions of Height and Tenzi, for example, and mechanically, it looks like a very good player. First bullet accuracy is pretty spot on, exactly what you need for getting rid of bait players swarming out of CT. And a smart afterplant. He doesn't play. He lets Cynics go. He's then also got the chance to take the second wave of contacts, and the third player's just tucked in, ready to guarantee that round. Full eco out of bait. So we can imagine that a 6th will light up the feed in a sec. Good adjustment from Cynics. He just keeps going. There will be one trade in for bait, but that's probably all she wrote.
Yeah, not so bad. Oh, there's a slight little weirdness in towards Spawn that could have played out, but I think Kenzie's is anywhere near quick enough to catch out the bomb, so. Although, front sight plant, no, okay, safe. No risk, and everyone falls. So just a single casualty. Brings it into a 6-round game. Won't have the ult for Hedrick either. I feel like we're not seeing that on the CT side yet.
Did he have it on T side?
I don't think so. I don't think we've seen him with the ult at all, actually.
Still doesn't. I know you didn't mean it horribly, but it's a 6-round game. It's okay. I guess it's better than like 9.
Yeah, come on. It was 9, roughly. One at a time.
Oh, nearly.
Look cool.
That it did. Fight brewing potentially between Essential and Masval over towards B-Apps. Kenzie's always taking advanced position in towards short, and MPL's just guarding the window. Very default, very standard. Very snooze. Betera anticipating Bait to push them, but that's exactly the opposite of what they're doing. Apart from this fight, I said it was brewing. Masval cannot get the best of Essential. He quick switched at the worst time.
Yeah, even had the chance, though, to get his gun back out, so it ended up being relatively fair, but Essential able to convert his spray a little cleaner.
Such a shame. If he has an AK, though, just insta-headshots him and it's all okay.
True. Well, you take him. Very slow, this one. 40 seconds left, and the only kills come through from that active push from Bait, because they got a little bored. It's going to be very heavily into the B side. Oh, what a shot from Vert. Kenzizor doesn't get a chance, and now they explode onto A. Alex is all alone here in backside. Will fight forward and find a kill. He's looking for more and will convert that spray. Huge kills, and then a headshot comes through. Vert gets removed. MPL doubles down. Off the back of the two of them, Bait take Mirage.
Yeah, what a play from Alex. He knows that he's got the opportunity to get that kill in towards Connector, takes it, and then wide swings out ramp. Just immediately takes the second kill, knows that there's a player in towards short that can back him up, and then you've got that rotating from CT. Alex has to be the active player in that situation. He takes matters into his own hands, and this time doesn't mess up the spray. Bait in cruise control all the way throughout this map will finally be able to close it out, and yeah, even without Headtrick's AWP really being necessary or needed.
Yeah. Everyone really contributed. I think it wasn't really anyone that was missing their moment, save that one little swing out from Alex, which could have been the multi, was just the one. But, you know, if your biggest complaint about an individual moment is that it wasn't a multi-kill, they only got 1 kill,
that's fine.
It's not that bad, really, is it? Big bright spot for Betera was obviously height. He was brilliant on that CT side, finding opening kills more often than not, and the way they were crunching on mid was very effectual. The problem was the follow through, because they found themselves in the player advantage so many times, and I think it must have been at least 5-6 rounds where they were in a 5-on-4 and they ended up losing it.
It looks like a team that is mixing and hasn't really played that many officials versus a well-oiled machine of Bait. It is the reality of the situation. And I'm not saying Betera are a mixed team. I'm just saying that they haven't played the most amount of officials in the world, which we've already covered about and sort of explained why. But this is a big symptom of it. And for Bait, they've played so many better opponents, high quality opponents as well recently. They've had some really big highs. Have been both online and LAN. This is, of course, was going to be another day in the office, and of course, it's going to be a really tricky time to play them if you're Betera. The good news is that you've got Train in your back pocket, which is 100% win rate for you. I'm really excited to see how that one pans out. I imagine height will be quite influential in that as well, and let's see what Texie can do, because we saw flashes of it on Mirage, but it needs to be a lot more consistent on Train.
Yeah, if you want to take down a team like Bait, you need everyone to be online and to be delivering it. But Train is the best place to do so. A map that Bait have only played a small handful of times, 6 reps, and 3 of those have been wins, 3 losses, including an OT versus Batbroom not too long ago. I mean, all their losses have been pretty close ones, so I think we've still got a competitive affair, but it's Betera's best chance of upsetting. Can they do it? We'll find out after this break.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
Map 2 about to kick off and get underway between Betera and Bates. And Bates made quick work of them on Mirage, but on Train, Betera have a 100% win rate. What's the win conditions here, Lucy? Because they were getting so many opening kills, but it didn't seem to matter. Bait were just all over them like a rash.
Yeah, we're really got to start converting those. That's going to be a big part of the success here. It's actually remarkable just the amount of success they were having in those opening kills, but not able to find any follow through. Yeah, it's pretty shocking. I think I'm expecting a little bit more out of Masval. I feel like he's been so good for them in so many matches lately. Really was just not present there on Mirage at all. I know that it was still a tough match for the whole team, but I felt like when I'm looking at this team, he's one of those pieces I'm expecting to be at the top. He's their highest rated player this year so far and was the lowest rated on Mirage.
Yeah, he's got to be there. I think Headtrick actually AWPing on Train will be difficult for Betera to navigate. So I feel like they really anticipated that he was going to bring out the AWP at some stage or just be a lot more active with it. Instead, it was Height getting free reign, Height finding opening kills, and then the rest of the riflers just weren't able to pick up the pieces and make things happen. I suppose on Train, you've got the argument of Betera. We know what they like to do on T-side. They didn't really get a chance to have a T-side, and their T-side did look a lot more comprehensive when obviously they had all the AKs, they had the Galils, Texi started powering up a little bit, Cynics had some really good moments. I hope that they can find space on Train. I don't think your conventional A rushes are always going to be the answer, but to be fair for Betera, I actually don't think they're going to utilize Ivy that much either. I think they're going to get a lot more leverage out of Pop and B halls and all of that control.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what this T side looks like from a team that has been so practiced on this map, and certainly definitely Bait are exploitable at the moment. Talked about kind of their recent runs, and yeah, they've had 6 maps on it so far, and it's been a 50-50 for them. Losses versus BetBoom, NIP in the Astana qualifiers, and Cybershock as well. But 2 of those losses went to OT and to double OT. So even when they've dropped the ball, it's been very close. Wins over BC Game, Cybershock as well, and Paravision. So yeah, the opponents you expect them to beat, they're winning against, and then some of the tougher opposition they have had their struggles on for Betera. It's been, full success for them. Obviously, their CT side has been a little bit stronger than their T side, but they're pretty good at pistol rounds, it looks like. They've won, out of all of their pistol rounds played across 4 maps, they've won 6 out of 8.
That'd be useful.
They didn't win any on Mirage, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be worrying. I'm looking at that BetBoom game as well, and BetBoom came back. BetBoom were down 9-3 on Train, and that was where Bait started on CT. Guess where they're starting here? CT. So Betera needs to get off to a quick start, and now even more emphasis goes on that pistol round. Get the pistol, get the conversion, start off life good on your T side. Otherwise, they will be struggling and be in a world of trouble. Jeopardy not yet on the horizon in ECL playoffs, because it does mean that they'll just move down to the lower bracket, but they don't want to get there just yet. They want to continue to fight. Let's see what trainers is shaping up for this team. There's a lot of utility here, and a lot of them going towards A main early.
Okay, it's going to be a straight A pup. We got a lot of utility, 2 flashbangs, 2 smokes, and a Molotov. Double push in towards Pop Dog, so there's going to be decent position for the CTs when this hit comes through, because you imagine they're not going to be focusing all that much pressure over towards Pop. So a chance for Kenzie's all to play, and if he goes down, that's where that second player can slide through. Alex trying to get tricky with it. Looks like he'll be punished. Everyone being punished, but there comes that activation. MPL strikes out, and he takes down 2 of the dualies that will eventually convert. Essential, a 3rd player in Pop. Unexpected. Does he have a chance here? Great first kill. Vert stuck in back towards Heaven, and Essential has the full read on the situation, knows he is there, has him pinned in, needs to find this kill, the gush instantly, and Vert follows through. Pistol, as was foretold, goes to Betera.
Played that really well, Vert. He had to get out of that corner, and then when he's at backside, he's then in control. So it says to Essential, I know where you are, you know where I am, I'm just going to take the fight on you. Instant dink, and then the immediate follow through as well. Doesn't give Essential a chance to react. Exactly what he needs to do. Starts off life a lot better on Train than he did on Mirage. 4 spy here for Bait. Alex is the one with the scout. It's Headtrick on the MP9 of all things. And again, this A pop ready to be set up and exploited. And they smoked off Pop.
Yeah, they really want to get this control, but yeah, the smoke's going to cause problems, and Betera will just charge in. So all that space, Essential is going to be on a fast flank. So maybe there's a chance that you could catch someone off guard, but it's currently smoked. I got no kit though. Cynics is even anticipating this possibility, is sitting, holding the angle. This is just exit frags at this point.
Yeah, it's a good round. I'll be honest, I really didn't expect them to be prioritizing the A-pop so frequently, but I mean, in the pistol round, it makes sense because you had all that utility. In this round, it makes all that sense because, again, you've got the utility and the better weaponry. And it's really evident that Bait have been prioritizing pop control. And it's something they do like to do. And it looks like Betera have deliberately countered for it by just adding that smoke. Oh, you went double pistol. In fact, there was 3 players that came late from pop. That's fine. We'll just smoke it off completely. And they do it once. They do it twice. They make life really difficult for the players on the A-bomb site because they don't have any immediate support.
All right, well, it's the exact start that Betera needed, especially on the T side. You can't help them hope for much better than winning that pistol. Being able to convert it against a force bite. It's going to be an Ivy play into this round. Essential will get aggressive and get that control of main early. That might be able to give Bait a decent defensive position, get some rotates in play.
This is really nice.
Pistols.
I really love the way that Betera are approaching this, though, because what they've done is they've recognized that Bait will have to react to this A play. Oh. What a shot out of Kenzie's. There's another one where that came from. The swing now confirms that there's 2 more in Ivy.
Yeah, do you really want to commit on this? I think you have to fall back. You don't want to give up any more opportunities. Dumping the utility, keeping a bit of interest here, but the smoke doesn't go deep enough, so it doesn't have that effectual lurk anticipation. In fact, it's going to be a clear to pick up that gun. Essential still in this close angle with the MP9. He's going to swing forward, gets that kill easily. No trade yet. He's seen that shadow. Ready for the swing, but can't convert. Maswell finds his mark. Still a player advantage for Bait, but the weaponry is not fantastic. Alex has the Galil and armor. You got Headtrick with the MP9 close by. He's hit a headshot. He's got the kill. Trade again comes through, but they're bleeding numbers and bleeding time. 30-second mark. Kenzie jumping up over towards Red. He has that bomb. Kenzie's on the close angle will be removed. But you've still got Alex and MPL in towards Pop. He's just going to sit. Wants to try and play to deny. Bomb needs to go down. Height is close by. MPL, does he look to catch this timing? He's just going to hold. Hope the swing comes to him, and it will. Can't convert the kill. Bomb plant not denied. But Alex has a good position. Knows where both of them are. First kill is his. Now you know exactly where Tenzi was. Where has he got to? That's the question. And Tenzi punishes as he tries to play around on the ladder.
Yeah, look, a good recovery there from Height, especially because he wide swings Pop when he goes close to that angle. MPL was hoping that he'd just walk into his crosshair. Goes by E-Box to try and take up that angle instead, and it would have been a similar fight to this one with Kenzie's or on Vert. But look, you think about what was brought into that round for Bait, and it's still really expensive. It's 2 MP9s, and it's just Deagles for the rest of the gang. A smart recovery from Betera, especially in that 2vx situation, played that perfectly. But now you've got everything. And, more importantly, you've got Headtrick on the AWP. It's going to be fast in towards B Halls. Headtrick taking the first contact, securing the kill. Essential, though, overwhelmed, and Headtrick wants to fight for more. But there's that AWP on the other side. That's Height trading them out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That jump back in from Headtrick is crazy. So many players on the other side. Now, MKL has slid out, and you've still got this player in towards upper. Maswell might be too late. This push is coming through from Kenzie's and he's already walked down the ramp. So, yeah, between him and Alex, they're quickly able to deal, and it's just onto Maswell with that lurk. With no one being spotted, you're quickly realizing there's not too many places that he could be coming from. Moves forward, and sort of just sticking the bomb. The spam does connect, and the kill comes through, but there's plenty of time to pick up that kit and the Bait to find their first round.
Yeah, good proactive moves there from Bait. You got the double up in towards Connector. One goes deep in towards back oil, and MPL just takes all the contact. So suddenly, you're not ready. And then, as you said, Masval's trying to play late, trying to hit the timing on Kenzie's, but Kenzie's is too quick for him. Kenzie's doesn't hesitate. And that's the important thing here when you're going for this retake. And yeah, this is ridiculous. The fact that Hedrick does go for that fight, but he thinks if I take another life and then I get traded, it just means that the rotates will be there in time. That's the important thing. The rotates will immediately be there. And even by him dying, technically, he has actually bought that extra second, that extra wiggle room for all of those timings to weave together in a successful bait retake. The Pope's still not been elected?
Yeah, you're quick on that. I've just found out that news too. That only just happened. I didn't realize you were so plugged in.
Came up on my phone. It just said, yeah.
Live Pope updates. If anyone at home was curious, I mean, you probably already know by now. If you're into that, you'd already know by the time you hear this, because we're on a delay. If you weren't interested, Pope's not been chosen yet. They require 2/3 of the vote. That's why it takes a few days, because that's a lot of people, 2/3.
And it's like 100 cardinals as well.
Yeah, it's a whole lot of them. So, I mean, there's a few favorites going into it, as there is with any sort of event, esports, pro, or otherwise. Yeah. So we'll find out more about the Pope over the coming days. Apparently they do more votes after the first day. Like, obviously they do. But I mean, like, they do 1 vote on day 1, and then they could do, like, up to 4 on day 2. So they can start spamming the vote.
start spamming the exclamation mark RTV.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Go watch Conclave from last year if you want to know more about it. It's a good film.
So I've heard. I'm interested to see what the pace looks like now for Betera, because finally they've been stopped going aggressive, but they did kind of get the bomb down after that, and they were able to get those 2 trades pretty quickly. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just keep going.
They're in a 4-on-3, and just didn't find the follow-through kills until it was too late. But the idea was down. The entry was great. Thanks to Bait putting a lot of pressure in these early rounds, has kept the economy a little humble, and Kensor is humbled after 1. Cynics will spot out Essential, who's on that jiggle. And the AWP ready for the peak, but shots go both ways, so Hedrick lucky to be alive.
But he is alive, and that's the important thing. MPL still looking over at Pop. It looks like Betera are going to reset back to Ivy. They're going to send 2 players here to try and now deal with Hedrick, who is weakened. And Masval's going to play late in towards main. But actually, Hedrick's completely disappeared. He's now heading over towards B. Instead, you've got Alex here. The swing, but it's the confirmation of info. Orb now re-equipped for Cynics. That means the Hedrick can start to make his move. 50 seconds left. They've got the extra player, but there's that activation. Masval gets rid of Alex. They still do not know about MPL, who's now pushing.
Flash has nothing on the Hedrick, but he misses the mark. He's feeling the pressure. Don't know if he saw the bomb, but yeah, there's a lot on him right now. And MPL, that was the chance. That was the chance to win it all. He goes down. Essential could still activate, but Masval's holding forward. The swing's good. And that's going to be a lot of pressure on Hedrick. Walks around. Can he deny? No, he can't get the shot off. It goes awry. That was the chance to win the round right there. Essential can still do it. Cynics is on low HP. Runs all the way back. And surely they spotted each other there. Swaps to the AK. Repos comes out. Essential is going to be ready for Cynics just to walk up on him. Oh, the way he's played this is perfect. Essential's going to be caught blindsided, surely. No clue Cynics will come from this direction. Yeah, there it is. The strike comes through. Beautifully done.
Yeah, and he's been allowed to do that because Cynics was last seen with the AWP. After a ridiculous shot on MPL, by the way, because from MPL's perspective, it looks like he's full running. And just kills him immediately. But because he's now seen with the AWP, he's got the extra space to go with the rifle and then just take the risk. Because Essential's not going to expect him there. Well worked from Betera. A 4th round on the T side. They've got more rounds than BetBoom did against Bait. And now Bait's money is on its last legs. Double nades go forward. That stops MPL from progressing. They want Pop. They want B Halls. Or Betera have got it without contention.
Yeah, but I've really felt that so many of these rounds have come so close that it's worth the full investment back in with that loss bonus built up. See if they can finally break through and reset Betera. Playing close towards his smoke with the MP9. Looking like they might want to walk through. In fact, they will. Tenzi's playing anti-though, and, well, yeah, this is exactly what the setup was about. Cynic's ready to swing. Essential, going to try his hand. That's not the weapon for the job, though. He's forced off. It's all about the distraction. It's allowed Alex to walk through, so this is all playing out, and I don't know if he'll even find this kill, but take your eyes over towards Ivy, where it looks like Vert has walked all the way through.
And that's called Cynic's back. Because he's got that space in Ivy. Oh my gosh, Headtrick's like, hang on a sec. How are they here already? A good forward molly will try and force him into a fight, but Vert's not taking it. And Height's now just posted on this angle, just in case they walk into it, and then Vert can swing up close. But Headtrick gets the better of him. Wait there, 3v3. Damage is still being applied. Height is still finding success, and he even goes forward on towards Alex. Essential just stands in the shadow of where Headtrick was, but Height just keeps on going. Now he's the one that swats to a rifle after the AWP. And Betera are destroying bait on this first half.
Yeah, when it came to the, that final moment, that the time is so low that he swaps to the rifle just to really ensure that he can get that kill, and there's just no chance someone could slip through and deny. You can see all the ideas are there for bait, but yeah, it just feels like Betera are just fully cognizant of what bait want to get up to. They've got the perfect counterplays there each time. Brilliant read on the game. Pop has not really been working out for bait. Every time they've gone for these aggressive plays, it has just not come out successful for them. And at best, it's been even trades, but in a lot of cases, they'll come out worse for wear.
Yeah, they've really been struggling. It feels like you've actually got to start utilizing Ivy if you're bait. Utilize the Brown Hall's control as well. That's what they look to do in this eco. Bomb's not committed. A main control being now optimized by Betera, and the swing comes in. It's Tenzi to get the first, but Alex has found two, but the spray is immaculate. Out of Tenzi. You feel like crisis averted. 2v3, it can still get a little bit antsy, but Tenzi can just withdraw. He can now group the rest of the squad, and they can go somewhere together and trade.
Yeah, the guns aren't here, so just group up. You got all the util, you got all the weaponry. MPL and Kansas are in the right place. Again, Betera playing the clock down. They're also going to kind of announce their intent with the smokes that they throw out, and that might give some space for the CTs to work with. I do get worried as the clock goes down. Kansas with the 5-7. Close angle. Could be really disruptive. That was a good chance to get the kill. The wide swing. Can't convert. That was the opportunity. Needed to get that one cleanly, and then maybe there was a chance.
Yeah, well, now they need to end this half cleanly. Now bait need to start picking up the pieces a bit, and they need to find an answer, because Pop it is not happening. Ivy has been contested by and large the majority of the times by Betera. So Alex says, you know what? I'm going to get a second AWP. A big investment, a big risk. Let's see if it pays off.
Double AWP, okay. Both are going to be towards this A side as well, which is even crazier. Oh, the utility usage is brilliant. Kentis doesn't even see anyone. Look at the HP he's working with. Naded and mollied out of the server. And you kind of just have to sit back and rely on those AWPs.
A boost up maybe instead. It could be a good solution here towards Pop. But you're right, bait now already feel like they're even more on the back foot, and Betera are going to bleed the clock in this round. Tenzi and Cynics might start to take Pop together in a few moments, or the bomb could just slide over towards B. Well-timed smoke for Essential, but rotations are so far away.
A lot of pressure on Essential. He's going to move out to device, which is a bit more of a passive position where you can try and you know, just sit back, catch them before they scale and allow a retake to play out. But a retake with 2 orbs. Hedrick has found the lurks. That's something. If Essential can find a kill here...
He's
getting burnt out. They've thrown a deep molly. And now they're trying to clear him. Damage comes through, and now comes the push. Kenzie's got a collateral. How's he done that then? Heights left in the 1v4. First kill is his. A second as well, but the chance to get any more denied. I cannot believe Kenzie's gets a collateral.
And Essential actually just staying alive wins the entire round for them because look, they even mollied. They even mollied him out of the position and he just goes down the ladder and he waits. They feel like they've got all the space. They creep into him. They even leave Essential to start with. They go, do you know what? We'll do with you later. We'll fight the Connect players that are coming out. And then Kenzie's just whacks them in the face. 3 kills from the AWP from Kenzie's, one of the most aggressive players we got on the server. A guy you never expect to be picking up the AWP. And yet he just makes it work. Bait will find that second round. But Betera will get a bomb plant. Now it's their money that's in jeopardy because all of these rounds have come at a cost. The accumulation of damage now that Bait have been acquiring in the rounds that they've not won. And that's not ideal either. Tenzi misses his molly.
Yeah, but the other utility they're throwing is still doing so much damage on these players trying to scale towards E-Box and Pup. Still wants to stay active with MPL. Oh, they're going to push this. Essential. Ooh. Well, actually drop the deep incendiary. That's quite powerful. Now, that is holding for this, and we'll get his kill. He's expecting a potential second swing. MPL cannot go further, but Essential can. He'll go 1 for 1. It's a real mess, and you need those rotations on B because MPL cannot help.
So it's Alex that's going to rotate over. So Alex is now going to be AWPing B solo. With 45 seconds left, Betera have got to make a decision. It feels like they go down Pop. Heights holding the angle. Oh my goodness me. Everyone misses, but Hedrick gets a lot of info. Hedrick's trying to stand his ground. Close quarters AWPing. Good for the first. But Trays need to be here, and they are. It's Alex on the AWP again. This double AWP is doing wonders for Bait.
God, that could have been a disaster though, couldn't it? Hedrick peeks in. A wide peek into 3. The fact that he lives there is outrageous. I cannot believe he gets away and is able to find a kill before he goes down. And great rotation coming in from Alex as well. Oh, by the finest of margins, which has been the story for almost all of these rounds on this map, to be honest. Very few where there's been a lion's share of players still standing at the end. Finally, Bait get a bit of breathing room. Just some pistols. They've been fighting for this reprieve for so long. Keep it clean. Oh, no. Bad start. But looking okay. Yeah, all fine. 1 casualty. The best round for Bait so far.
Finally, a sigh of relief you feel for Bait. But for Betera, look, they are still being dangerous. I think that's what they've got to appreciate. But I feel like they can get away with more by just being aggressive. I feel like their aggressive plays, especially at the start of rounds, have really been earning them a lot of success. We know what the utility's also been doing towards Kenzie's. Start weaving in these fast-paced rounds again, because the moment you allow this CT side to get a little bit of control, they're just going to take it away from you. They're playing double AWP. You know that they're double AWP. You should get in their face.
Yeah, true. Or Alex can just take the fight to you. All alone, he'll push down Ivy. He gets that kill. There's no follow through. So, brilliant opening frag. And look at the space that Bait have taken in the meanwhile. They completely left A open early. Finally, Betera will start to move in. But now the push comes through. Pop. Hedrick has hit a leg shot. Huge amount of damage done. And Alex is still prowling over towards camera.
Great molly.
This is difficulty, though. You've got 3 players stuck in Pop Dog right now. Well, Ken still starts to run. Cynics surely is dead. And MPL will get this kill. If not him, then Essential on the spams. But here it comes. There it is. They have removed Alex. Maybe Mazfell can find something else. Oh, cheeky little hide. I love that from Kenzie's. Mazda was aware of the possibility. We'll check back, but not going to matter now. Tenzi, 1v4. The walls are closing in. Bomb plant won't even be possible. Cancel, just wide swing.
Yeah, they've warmed up into this one, Bait. And there was some really nice little pieces of utility there to get the AWPs back on the line. So what you've got is the break on the smoke at Pop. The guy at E-Box is then stuck, has to turn away. And Headtrick, that's how he's able to leg Cynics. And then also Headtrick backed all the way out of Connector, dropped a molly that landed at front red. And that means that the players on A were also disjointed and they couldn't deal with Alex over at back camera. So an awesome double set of util that gives Bait space and kind of gets them out of that situation. Last round of play here in the first half. Look at this. The primary weapon for Betera is a Galil.
Okay, so their economy has been kept at bay finally. Oh, messy fight though. Alex gets overwhelmed. Headtrick playing up close and personal. We'll get that trade back, and Essentials found the lurk. Now Kensil can activate, and yeah, it does really feel like they've warmed up into this. Headtrick just pushing through. He's feeling emboldened, but it's MPL that finds the frags, and Bait tie us up 6-6.
All level here between Betera and Bait. And Bait won 5 rounds in a row after Betera got off to a red-hot start. But it is T-side train, and now Betera got the luxury of being on that defense.
Yeah, we'll see what Bates T-side has to offer. It took them a bit to get into the game, but when they arrived, they look pretty good. And this is looking like a very direct play. Straight into the B bomb side. We've got Cynic sitting up on device. Masval's found a kill too. Let's force back on the rotate. Headtrick trying to scale in. Bomb has gone down. Where do you go from here? Look, 4 players pushing out from connector. T-side need to hit some quick shots. They need to come in fast, and it's coming the other way. Nothing found at all for the T-side.
Cynic's played that so well because he gets spotted over at Device. He then gets the kill and he just falls back. He goes all the way deep in towards CT, and then he invites pressure. He says, Bait, if you want to come and kill me, you got to go all the way in the open, and 4 players just swing through Con. Tenzi hits some bangers, retakes a success story. And now for Bait with the bomb down, they feel like they've just got a force. They feel like they need to take the fight to Betera, something that was working so well on T-side Mirage.
One MP9 from Masval, the only SMG for the CT side. He's having a much better game here, which is good to see. 2 Galils. Do the damage. Flashbang, not on the mark at all.
No, I mean, it was. It just,
sorry, yeah, Masval wasn't on the mark.
He wasn't on the ball.
No. If you go into B here, it's a very passive setup. Very passive. Vert and Cynic's playing a freaky deaky crossfire all the way back at Con. Suppose Fine Lines versus Tech 9s. Only does it rhyme. Makes a lot of sense.
See this
poetry.
It goes deep. Have they got a smoke to get rid of this molly? Well, Cynic's got a nade to break this smoker as well, but they don't go off it. Oh, they wait. They take the shot out instead, and they're holding for this pop aggression, but Masval just does a lot of damage. Cynics is overwhelmed by a Mac 10 Kenzie Zor. Beta breached.
Heights here, though, and Heights here very quickly. Kenzie Zor tries to push through. That's crazy. Heights found his kill. Bomb goes down. There's a lot of damage inflicted, but you've lost your rifles. Essential, still a power player. You've got this player up in towards the upper halls too in MPL, but no one's coming from that direction. It's entirely side focus. Essentials found that first kill. Hetrick playing close to default will catch up Height. And Vert with such low HP. And Masval also dinked down, so between the two of them, it gets very tricky. Still can potentially stick this bomb, and in fact, the kill comes through. Despite having 16 HP between the two of them, they find the kills first.
Damn. What a move. Are they just push and they're just playing with so much confidence? They just isolate these fights so effectively. You can see that MPL really wanted to play late. He wanted to guarantee that there was no chance they could defuse that bomb. But because you've isolated your player on site and Vert and Masval moved as a unit, it was so tricky for that player to actually get away with anything, even despite the low HP, because he's consistently changing the angles. There's different layers of elevation there for Betera. 8-6, another close round, but more importantly, they won it. And Bait go, damn it, you won it, but we planted the bomb again. We did even more damage. It's another force.
Kenzie is getting super aggressive off the flashbang, and he almost takes down 2. Brilliant proactive play. I want to re-push this. Essential's holding for it, but Vert just wide swings over and takes the other down. Oh dear. This is a collapse. MPL will find that kill, but the bomb is firmly in control of the CTs. Maybe there is a way to fight back into it, but recovering the bomb is going to be so difficult.
I don't even know how you can recover the bomb, to be honest. You just got to win these fights out. Masval's being baited in perfectly by Vert. You've even got this third player here that hasn't peaked. Molly is good, but there's that swinging from Masval. And in fact, he just removes both of them anyway. Betera 9-6, still got a conversation here in this series. Finally, Bait are forced to bend the knee. They're going to have to just equip themselves with deagles. And Dust 2 as that decider is a little bit spicy.
Yeah, maybe should have banned Train, you know, when you saw that Betera have a 100% win rate on this. Sure, Nuke's not been the best showing for you, but it's not like Betera were ever going to pick that, right? Like, that would have been a crazy choice from them, so it does feel like they kind of played themselves in the veto a bit.
What can the Deagles do? Well, there's good scaling out of MPL. You should be aware of this. Masval's on an unbelievable angle to deal with them. And then Height just starts pushing. That was brave. Oh, Alex? Oh. Excuse me? Excuse you? That's insane. What on earth was that from Alex?
Yeah, real shame his teammates didn't find any action earlier or were still alive to maybe enable something off the back of that. Listen, it's not over yet, though. Not over yet. 10-6. Bay will actually get a full buy with AKs, which they've not really had. They've kept a few of these rounds close, at least finding some economic damage at the end there, thanks to Alex. Can build back into it.
Double Ivy prioritization again out of Betera. They really want to go for this. And look at Alex. He's just tucked right in the corner. Just waiting. Biding his time. How far does Vert go? That's the next question, because you can see he's cleared this angle. Head trick has been removed. And now that might invite Alex to come and play. And that means you're not expecting this angle of Vert. Brilliant bait and switch from Betera.
Yeah, cheeky, isn't it? These little aggressive moves out towards Ivy of, looks like maybe one back-to-back rounds. MPL gets 2 kills, though. Deletes both players over on B. Still calls this round into question. Essential's present on the side, hoping maybe he can catch someone off, and he has a chance here onto Vert, but the timing, oh, it's so unlucky. And now Kenzizor is a very difficult clutch in his hands. He's been spotted too. Height moves over, holds the AWP in case the cross comes in. And it'll be Vert that finished the job. 3 kills for him and 11-6 on the board.
Yeah, they're playing so well. Bait haven't even got a round on this T side yet. Really been struggling to deal with it. By Betera. They've not really utilised Pop all that much. They've tried Ivy, it hasn't worked. They've tried going out B a number of times, but Pop. That's been the thing that's been the real sticking point and the non-existent factor for Bait so far. Maybe they'll give it a go into this one, but Cynics is getting so aggressive. He's dropped a molly and now he's cleared everything. And if they try and hunt him, there's a second player.
Yep, there's Vert. Vert's been lights out on this CT side. He's everywhere. What a nuisance. Now the swing comes up. Vert comes through. He's going to have to get away. He needs to run. He's very low HP. And Trick and Alex could still find a way into this. Height will rotate over to B. He just dumps utility. Minute left on the clock. Asfal's the only player on aim right now. He knows he's got good timing if they want to rotate. And towards main, that becomes such a powerful position.
They're just going to go B, which means you need to get by Vert, which means you need to aim at Vert. And Vert, oh, goes back on the line. Headtrick's just cleared this. Oh, but Alex adjusts. Swinging from Height is great on the AWP. Headtrick puts the molly forward, hoping that Height will peek him. He doesn't. So that gives the breathing room at least to plant. If anyone can win this for Bait, it has to be Headtrick. Missed shot out of Height, but further confirms that he's over towards Thomas and not default. The nade is good. He still can't isolate Headtrick, and Height will just keep swinging on the angle. He keeps repeaking and repeaking to buy time for Masval. And Betera, they're the ones that are going to hit map point. 12-6 up.
Yeah, nothing to show for Bay on this T side at all. Like a few rounds where there's been a chance for them to break through and they've just not been able to find it. And it's these aggressive plays that have been coming through in the early stages of the rounds. Over towards Ivy for 2 rounds. This time it's a push in from Pop Dog, a little squeeze that Betera come out best in. Bert's timings are outrageous. It was super frustrating for Bait. bit pacier. Kenzizor, go kill, a classic strategy. He'll scale very quickly towards Hell. You got Mazval, who gets deleted by Essential, who's just opened up A by himself. Kenzizor will now activate. Oh, messy, really messy. He had a freebie on the platter, but couldn't convert the shots. So it keeps in a 3-on-3, but full A-side control for Bait.
That's the main thing. They've actually got space. And this is the first time we've actually seen Bait with an afterplant where they've actually have got room to breathe. So let's see how this afterplant shapes up. Headtrick goes into the corner. You still got the player playing backside. And Alex, supposed to be the insurance policy. Everyone in from Ivy for Betera. Tenzi needs to swing and clear so many close angles. Crossfire feels good with Headtrick and MPL, but Tenzi gets the first, and Cynics has also dealt with Alex. So that's MPL backside at his height with a quick shot. Is there enough time to get on the bomb? There should be with these kits. Cynics has got the defuse, and there is enough time. Betera will take train 13-6, and they keep that 100% streak going.
Yeah, and a flawless CT half two. Not a single round dropped. Everyone shining there for Betera. Even that first half, you gotta remember, this is a 6-1 start for that T side. So they came blazing hot into this map despite getting locked out on Mirage. They looked incredible here on Train, and yeah, it's a good reason they got that 100% next to the Train, and the conversation will keep coming back about whether Bait should have banned that, because all signs point to the yes. You got to give so many props to the way that the CT side played out for Betera. I love the different aggressive plays that they brought into play. All the extremities being pushed. Pop Dog constantly under threat too. Just felt like Bait were not ready for this type of aggression on Train, and you can really see it's a map that they haven't had anywhere near the amount of reps on.
No, compared to Betera, Betera looked really good. And look, that's the argument to why people have a permaban. You don't play all 7 maps, because it feels like fundamentally your maps are just going to be a little bit weaker overall if you take on the burden of playing every single one. But here they were just outclassed. I mean, Betera were in complete control. Height had some unbelievable shots towards the very end, but you look at Cynics, you look at the way that Mazval played, it was just exceptional start to finish for Betera. So we've had back-to-back 13-6s. And now we're at a game state where Dust 2 is needed as our decider. Plays very similarly to Mirage, so Bait will be very happy with that one. I've got a lot more experience, I've got a lot more confidence with Dust 2. But for Betera, they fought their way back into this series. They've now got another opportunity to try and make things happen. It really is anyone's game now. You don't get eliminated from Challenger League if you lose this best of 3, but you add more burden to your schedule. And to be honest with you, if Betera lose this, they get the luxury of playing more officials. It's probably something they desperately need anyway. Remember, we still got Zero Snazzy versus Spirit Academy on Stream C, Sinners versus Paravision on Stream A. But here in Stream B, we need a decider map, and that's coming right at you after this break.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.
map picks exchange between Bait and Betera. 13-6 on each map. Sorry, we're at the 6 and then the 13. It all got muddled up. But what's not muddled up is that we're here on DE Dust 2 as our decider. And for both teams, it's a bit of a middle ground, it feels. Obviously, Bait have a lot more reps on it just through virtue of playing a lot more officials. But for neither, it's, you know, one of their better maps. It's kind of just a middle ground to decide the winner here today.
Yeah, and last time me and you, Lucy, watched Bait on Dust 2, it was Essential just being absolutely unbelievable as that B anchor. Head Trick was also really influential, and to us, I've not really seen too much Head Trick yet in this series, and I was hoping that we'd get him on Train. We didn't. Instead, we got Height, not finding opening kills this time as he did on Mirage, but instead was being such a reliable piece of the Betera puzzle on CT side, and I'm calling for him, Head Trick. This AWP head-to-head is going to be tricky against Height, but it should be one that he should be winning. And the fact that he hasn't been is a little bit of a cause for concern. We know MPL is going to be consistent. We know Essential is going to be good on this map, but we need Head Trick if Bait want to continue their journey in the upper bracket of this playoffs.
Yeah, Height's been the best AWPer in the server for sure. In fact, you know, I think Alex has been a pretty damn good AWPer too, to be honest, on that CT side of Train. Yeah, everyone's kind of had their chance at it. Yeah, what was good for Betera on Train, I think in particular, was that we got to see a little bit more out of the other members, right? Called upon Masval in particular step up. He really delivered on Train. Felt like he had a lot of impact. Tenzi was lighting up the server. I think Ennett finished top of the leaderboard with the consistency across both halves. Vert on that CT side, an absolute nuisance. So it does feel like we're getting the other pieces arriving because, you know, Mouth Blanc was Height versus the world. It felt like he was doing everything he could to get the team into a powerful position, but they couldn't close off it. Now with the rest of the team online on a map like Dust 2, I could see the upset.
Yeah, I could definitely see it as well, but I don't want to rule Bait out because Dust plays pretty similarly to Mirage, and Bait were unbelievable on Mirage, so I don't want to sit here and just go, look, Betera, they continue their 100% streak on Train. They're going to come in here and they're going to rock the world on Dust 2. I think this is going to be a very similar scoreline to what it was for Bait on Mirage. I feel like we will have some closer rounds within it, but I think ultimately Bait should be getting the better of Betera here.
Yeah, definitely are the favorites, or were the favorites coming into this. Train was a bit of a blip on the radar, just given, you know, it's just not a map they've had a lot of reps on, and one that maybe they might look to work a little more on. Train and Nuke currently a bit of a strugglesome for Bait, and that's, I guess, the downside of playing the full 7 map pool is you're always going to have those weaknesses that you have to improve upon. And yeah, perfect opportunity for a team like Betera to come through and to provide a cheeky win. Here's the knife round. I'm not sure how influential this will be, given what we've seen from both teams, but Bait's T-side and Train didn't get a single round, so I'm sure they'd love the CT half here. Oh, a little rotation. They all swap sides. Oh, Bait have won this.
Have they?
Oh, maybe not. Oh, never mind. Wow, okay.
They didn't.
That's crazy. Wow, you know, knife rounds.
Yeah, how do you cast a knife round? You can't really. And I do agree with you, though. I just don't think that it's going to matter too much which sides they start on. Bait will be starting on T side, which means that they're going to be probably a lot more... Again, I asked for aggression a lot for Bait because that was the way that they won Mirage. It was very simple. MPL didn't call really complex rounds. It was let's go A, let's go mid, let's go fast mid to B, etc. And that's the way to undo this for Betera, just being caught off guard, not being tradable. That happened a lot on Mirage, so I wonder if that's going to be the same antics that Bait look to employ. They want to fight over its top mid. And that smoke, I think, has been rushed because he was stressed about the amount of shots that were going his way, and I slightly missed in towards doors.
Yeah, it's actually made that smoke better off just not being thrown, because now you've given the potential for CTs to slip into lowers. That means that for Bait, the only real avenue here is to crawl out long, which they've been able to do uncontested. Head Trick has the cross utility ready to go. Bill's got a molly. Is that going to go towards car, or has that got a different destination in mind? Well, if it's going to go towards car, you'd think it would have been thrown by now. So Right, they'll be holding on to that one. Okay, no, it's just a late one. Now they will pop over. A blow on the smoke sees, well, not any heads. And Kenzisol draws first blood. They managed to get up successfully. A little boost over is cheeky. Kenzisol spotted it, though. So they'll now go for the bomb plant. With it disassembled, and Alex has found a kill on the flank, causing chaos. And he gets down too. It's Masval left in the 1v3, and he can't get anything done. Alex with a massive 3k.
Yeah, I like the way that Bait play that because they get attacked by that flashbang, and it's a nice idea for Betera because you throw the flash in the smoke and then you break the smoke, and you're hoping that these guys are so blind they're just running into the wall and they're not able to cross it effectively. Haven't really spoken a great deal about Kenzisol as well for Bait, and I feel like this is his best map. So I'm excited to sort of see the fruits of his labour on Dust 2. Pistol round, something that they couldn't get in either half on Train, already now being acquired by Bait. A big fight brewing in long. It's a force buy. There's 2 scouts, and everyone is here. A trade immediately. Onto Kenzisol by Masval, and the scout's doing damage as well. Height in at car. The MP9 starts to swing, but it's Headtrick on the other end that gets rid of Height.
Featuring with Pythex, he was doing a lot of damage to that scout. Tenzi still has one, although he's running all the way around just to cut off the rotations to lock them in. A swing out from Cynics, gets a kill with the 5-7. MPL still low too. Between these 2 rifles, they have a difficult job to fight into this. Further damage being inflicted. Oh, this is so uncomfortable for Bait. Alex is going to just walk up closely, but the MP9 at that position from Masval feels so powerful. Cynics is waiting for a moment to strike Alex. Further damage done, but not the kill. 2 HP, the difference. Might get a chance on the second time. And has heard Masval moving about on site. Just trying to... Oh, okay. Well, not much you can do there. MPL just was not helping Alex out too much there at all. And yeah, not going to be able to do too much in that round either. So forced by success.
Yeah, that's actually a real shame because MPL was holding the CT walk, so Alex could do all of that. And he goes, okay, one's default, one's short. The spam doesn't quite connect onto Tenzi. And then Tenzi just hits a screamer with the scout, and that's round over. If it goes the other way, though, if Alex's spray actually converts, he's able to get the scout, and then he knows about Masval, that round, you assume it is going to be slightly different. But instead it is Tenzi on 2 HP, the hero for Betera. Vert's now being tagged by that scout on the cross. And for Bait, they're taking lower quite quickly. It's another one of these faster rounds for them. As it might even look to go out the mid doors. No, it's Ascension in towards short, and Alex has got a lot of liberties here that he can take advantage of.
It's an ugly force buy though, isn't it? 2 Deagles, Tech 9, Scout, Galil. What a ragtag bunch of weaponry. Down in the second hand bin. Scout quickly to kind of put that pressure on, but for Betera, they're not really getting too much contact elsewhere, so still keeping players present. The smokes will come down, potentially a drop being set up. No, so we'll just throw HE over. MPL's going to lurk around the edge of these smokes here. Here comes that drop, trying to catch off Masval, but he is quick on it. Fantastic flick back. That was disgusting. And off the back of that, he surely ended the round. That's a good shot from Headtrick. Masval is low. That's also within scouting HP. The bomb is fully within their grasp. Central starts to scale further forward. Molly is actually going to force him into the open, and he can't convert the shots. Headtrick's been spotted, and despite the tags, despite the headshot, it's just damage. 30 seconds. Is there really any way that he can do much more in this? I think he's already conceded the round. Going to try and retain this M4 and armor into the next.
I can't believe Masval hits that 180 flick into middle. It comes back to, again, actually what you were saying before we kind of went live, the fact that Betera are feeling a lot more powerful on the server with Bait now they've taken Train. The fact that you've got Height still delivering impact. I mean, that last round with the scout was an example of it, but you've this time got multi-kills coming out of Masval, coming out of Tenzi. Even Cynics now starting to alleviate a lot of pressure. Ridiculous round out of Masval, and Headtrick will retain that M4, but everyone else is going to be on Glocks, and Height's now got an AWP, a heavy prioritization to put him on the sniper.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it needs to be this round because you know you just got that one saved rifle you're up against, but I mean he's been so brilliant with it. Why not bring it out as soon as you can? This is going to be Hedrick's round. No one else has anything at all. Third in the open, you could definitely be traded here. I'm surprised Hedrick's going for the swing first. Normally you expect the Glock to be the one that kind of goes for the swing there so that it can offset the M4, but yeah, Vert's having no issues. In him and Tenzi, at least. They deal with everybody. It's just that one kill that comes through. And the AWP not spotted either.
And where Hedrick saved as well, and he carried the M4 over, not allowed the AWP. Which is actually quite big.
Anything, really.
Yeah, it's actually quite a shame that he's the one that had to save that M4 and he walks away with 0 loss bonus. So he's on a Deeg. Not quite the sniper to contest height with.
Molly deep into short will prevent height from peeking too far down. Slow crawl through lower. Bay going through the motions of getting early map control. Height will get that molly in his face, so he'll fall back. Still not revealed his presence, so he might have a good opportunity for a first kill in towards short. We saw how good he was at finding those openers on Mirage, but the flashbang offsets him completely. Now, you do know that AWP's in play. Even if he didn't fire it, you definitely saw that scope.
Yeah, but good incendiary, just because it prevents the progression of them exploding up short if they wanted to, which I don't think they did, to be honest. Beta just going to wait. They're going to drop this mid to B. They're also going to drop the CT drop smoke. It's very similar to what they looked for here in the previous round when Mazel was in CT. Tenzi throws a flash forward. He then gets counter flash back as well, but Height's just found another kill. And Tenzi is just forward facing, but MPL will trade out both. So 3 versus 3, Masval trying to go up and over on this box. Is no one looking at him? Okay, MPL is. Of course he is. The beacon of hope for Bait, but Cynics has snatched it right out of their hands, and Vert has dealt with the mid lurk. That's round over in a blink of an eye yet again, and Betera, they're going to run away with 4 to kickstart this CT half.
Yeah, Cynic's getting away with 2 there. It's actually kind of crazy. He's in the open. I get the one on CMPL, yeah, sure, but that trade needed to come through. That is a little sloppy from Bait. Great work from MPL to try and find those mid-round kills to set them up for success after they lose the first 2 frags. Even the awareness that Masal would climb out of that smoke is cheeky. Okay, Hedrick just got off the bomb, so wasn't really in position.
It was a ridiculous adjustment as well from Cynics.
Yeah. Well, it's not good. You got the bomb down, but yeah, not enough money to really get the invest. So it's a half buy here. 5-1 is going to be the scoreline. Of the last, what? 10 rounds? 11 rounds? Betera have lost 1. You know, if you include trade.
And you actually feel for Bait as well, because how many times they actually got the bomb down in these situations? Like, quite often. Just not able to stick the landing. Now it's back to Tech 9s. It's back to a little bit of relief for Betera. And now they're showing that they can win rounds even without the opening kill, even with the player disadvantage after the bomb goes down. They're showing a lot of different faces here to Bates, and they're giving them a real challenge. This would be an unbelievable upset if they're able to pull it off.
That should be so insane. That lower bracket gets very spicy if Bait falls down there. Shilty in both directions. Heights in the open, and MPL looking to try and punish. The late shot comes through. And, oh, MPL has slid through into CT. I do not think they spotted that, but what can he get done? Bert cops a dink. Alex has found a headshot, and now MPL will find that kill. Sitting under pressure, the only one over here on A. He goes down. The Deagle strikes again. Oh, just a half bite.
What?
Oh, wow. MPL swings out. High will connect that shot. Gives him a chance in the 1v2. Both these players are low.
Did he see him? Either way, Tenzi just nearly gets rid of MPL. As you say, both players are really low. They got to swing this together, you would feel. Alex goes first, and the head trick goes over the top, and Alex doesn't even need head trick. Height removed from the equation. Can the AWP be scavenged as the next adventure? No, it can't. But that's a round stolen away, and that is Bait just going with a pace change. Faster one in towards mid. The double smokes, the ridiculous spam isn't enough for Betera. Spirit Academy are out a Challenger League. Zero Tenacity beat them 2-0.
Wow, that is shocking. That's actually incredible. I thought this might be the biggest upset, but I think that definitely is. Now Vert's running at them with the MP9. First kill goes the way of the CTs. Ken still can't quite convert on that spray. And meanwhile, Mazval has found the kill in mid. MPL was trying to get ahead of the smoke after all this information had been gathered about 3 players long. He thinks there's a gap. There isn't.
Oh, solo play. One thing that Bait don't normally do is just make these solo plays. Is they're going to regroup in towards mid. They're going to try and take this space. The smoke is not very good for Betera. So Kenzer and Hedrick are going to wait. Alex is going to move over towards tunnels. It feels like Betera got a good read on this. Cynics has relocated towards the doors. You've got Height that hasn't moved off B in such a long time. He is under threat if Cynics dies.
Oh, well, he dies. All right. Now that threat comes through. Height has so many angles to do with the AWP. It does not feel good, but he still found a frag and almost had a chance for 2. That's given the space. Kenzor and Alex. In fact, we all picked up into Alex's hands. He wants to take the fight forward, and he finds success. Now you favor the T's. Split will come through. Vert starts to move. Smoke will land in his face. Tenzi has a flashbang to potentially set up the push out through that smoke. Yeah, it's going to come out into their faces. Now the swing comes through, can't connect. And you know exactly where Tenzi is. And the flames give it away too. This will be Bait. Finding success despite 2 opening kills going the way of Betera.
Yeah, 4 kills for Alex in that round. An unbelievable turn of form for Bait in that one. And the fact that Height is nearly allowed that second kill but doesn't get it, completely wins the round and seals the fate for Betera. Said that Cynics needed to live. To be fair, wasn't really given much of a choice after Kenzel rips his head off from middle. But Alex does the rest. Anticipates that there's going to be that flash push, dodges it perfectly over at the quad box. And finally, the money is gone. A fun little stack over towards the car, but that's all it will be, you assume, for Betera as Bait look to equalise the scoreline. Something that they did do in that first half of Train, but it took them ages to get back into it. This time, they've got room for more.
It's actually a really fun little stack, isn't it? Car boot sale. That Molly's not going to do too much. I suppose it would disrupt them if they were sitting on the edge. Come on, someone peek into this. Kenzie's all, you're going to get curious.
Kenzie's all.
You want a bit of this? Oh, Alex has come through mid. He's found it, and now the swing comes out, and it's just a collection. Oh, nice shots.
Very much so. Yeah, we'll see the Zecos again? Sure, why not? Let's play aimbots. 4-4. Lifeline handed back to Bait. Look at this. They're going for a Furia by Betera, so I'm expecting them to get really aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, they found some success doing that even just 2 rounds prior out towards long. This time it's going to be on lower. The nades come first, and MPL's headshot comes second. Still comes the split, though, and they have managed to come out of this ahead. That's rifles that can be recovered. For Bait, the only answer is to push in towards long. That smoke is ineffectual. Ken's still ahead of it. And he is able to convert onto Tenzi. That could have got messy, but he controls. Now they can extend. Kenzo taking all this fourth round. He's spotting out Toes. He's taken down Masval just through the floor. Despite getting those kills in towards tunnels, this push from Bait is perfect.
Yeah, really great recovery. Kenzie's all just getting ahead of that lurk smoke over at long is everything, because it just means he can grab that kill and then he can take the space. The fact he jumps up on the box, the fact he's looking for fights is what wins Bait that round. And that's how it should be. It's more what I was saying a few rounds ago. Bait have got the better individuals, let it be known. Especially when Alex is having a good as game as this. 150 ADR so far and counting. Get Kenzie's all active a lot more. Because if Headtrick's having a little bit of an absent game, you want to get Kenzie and Alex involved more.
Terrorists win.
It definitely seems like that is on the cards. Really nice aggressive push, but you can already see while this is happening, they're extending out towards long. Tenzi's not expecting him to be that close. Showed a little too much leg, did Masval. A high torps in play. Got a heavy B lead early from the T side. Right out long. Alex loses it.
And now they've got no info, so they have to go in towards B. So many flashbangs, and, well, Vert, he's just appreciating Tenzi's contacts. There have been trades eventually, but it's MPL versus Free. And Heights nearly spammed him all the way through the doors. Bomb not even down. Everyone rotating in from middle. This should be a clutch, and MPL should not win.
Yeah, they've tried to make the play here. There are 3 CTs on the other side. Oh, Cynics is even aware. I mean, okay.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Nice try. But one of them was going to get that.
And the reason why they're doing that, by the way, is because, look, the bomb's not gone down. So you fully expect him to try to make a cheeky play. Only thing he can really do is just stand in this smoke. Great work out of Tenzi and Vert. Good contact, Bait and switch. And Bait didn't even have a player in middle to see how many players were on B. They were just so assured of themselves that that play was going to work. It didn't. It falls flat. Now they've got to try and make it work again.
High aggro. Marcel gets that kill. Tenzi swings, and he'll go down. He's still high and lower. Oh, and the smoke is actually just going to extract himself, get away. So an opening advantage for Bait. That's been a little fewer and farther between than they would like.
Oh, look at Long.
Yeah. Cynics has full control.
Oh, Height's in such a horrible angle to be in if you're not a typical AWPer, but he is. Because you got to deal with all of these different angles. You got to deal with the contact that's potentially coming in. Flashbang's good because it puts Hetrick on the angle. Height's ready for it, and he just nails him through the door.
That's where he's playing with that simple sense. You can see that little shake there at the end. So back into 3-on-3, and he's still got Hyde to contend with. It is going to be this B play. The AWP on the line, in position. Ken still does well to dodge that, but Lucy's teammate behind him will run down. Hyde falls. Bomb enters the site, will be planted. CTs will be rotating. Cynics is pretty close by in towards tunnels. They do have a chunky utility on him, though. Now he's been spotted. That makes his hit a whole lot harder. Just trying to be a nuisance, maybe a bit of a distraction. Continue to extend by going both ways, but now it's just Cynics. He's ready for that second swing, but doesn't come. Low HP, this nade. If he can land that, oh no, he doesn't go deep enough. If he'd taken the time to swing around, could have found it. The comms are there, that he's low, but it's Essential that hits the headshot.
Oh, and that was needed. Essential was 1 and 7, now he's 4 and 8. And they're both low. You can see that Cynics is really anticipating that Essential's just going to swing him, but no. Essential doesn't move. Both players throw nades. They don't do the fatal blow. That's so unfortunate for Cynics. But it's Bait that take the slight edge, the slight lead again. And this is only going to favour the T side. And look, we're only entering the last few rounds of this first half. But if Bait win this, they're going to be walking away with a much healthier scoreline than if it's even. Famas, MP9, Scout, the Remnants. But look at this push from Tenzi. He's just ahead of them, but a really important trade, and MPL gets another follow-up. Additionally, it's a 5v3 that came in the last round as well.
That's going to get close to that mid-smoke, but yeah, no one on B right now, which is where they look to go. All this timing, Sinnings just gets caught off. MPL walks out. That's insane from height. Headshot onto MPL. Kenzie Sori is just going to continue accelerating. He's trying to sell that it is going to be this A play, so it's all a ruse. He still gets the kill anyway. This one's going to be 7. But removed by Kenzie Zor. Bomb doesn't even need to go down. Bait win out the half.
And we're back then for the second half. It was a really good start for Betera, but then Bait, they started ramping up. They came back into it very much like they did on Train. In the second half, they didn't get a single round. But they're now on CT side, which could be a key difference maker. Loser of this drops down to the lower bracket, probably to face Zero Tenacity.
Well, familiar opponent for Bait at least. Hedrick's on that first kill onto Height. Kenzie's off, flash out. So kills go each way. Cynics will actually take the lead now for Betera. And he's seen another gush come through. Hedrick's feeling the pressure. Alex, does he look to extend through the smoke? No, will fade back and is caught. Masval had a tear on this pistol. Put down by Essential. Advantage still firmly for Betera, especially with Hedrick so low.
Look at Hedrick's reposition though. He's already up long, and Vert gives it a little glance, but I don't think you're going to expect Headtrick. Yeah, right there. This is a good movement from Headtrick, and now he can run all the way over, back towards site. 2 versus 2. This is now starting to get a little bit dicey now.
Still can, but now you're re-aggressing down long after Headtrick's fallen back. He's in the open. Sound cue doesn't come through. It does. It does. He has a chance here playing around the pillar, and he'll actually get that kill. No, Tenzi swings out. Essential tucks in. Decides to play this safe. Doesn't want to fight forward. Try and catch them off. Allow them this space into the bomb site. Problem is, if he goes for a deep plant, then, or even default, Essential can't actually disrupt this, but will come around at the perfect time to strike. Tenzi spotted out a 1v1, but Tenzi wins it over the top, and Betera take the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, look, it always should have been Betera taking the pistol, especially after the first couple of opening kills, but the fact that that does get dicey, the fact that Bait moved that into a 2v2, but Headtrick plays it really well and then decides to just be in the open, gives away audio, gives the chance for Betera to make that a 1v2. Essential tries his best, but ultimately, if Headtrick had played that a little bit safer, then Bait could have taken it. Instead, they're just going to full eco, and Betera can equalize the scoreline here.
All right, Headtrick. You've had a quiet series. Maybe this deagle is your moment. Oh, spotted. Looking for it. Hunting. But it's team kill. Okay, hold up. Headtrick did find 2. But unfortunately, he's lost all his friends. And now Alex has been hurt and will be dealt with.
Nice shots. And look,
Yeah.
you didn't give the... You only gave the MAC-10 1 kill. So it's all good. It doesn't matter that much. You denied them getting 300 with the AK kill. A win-win. Headtrick AWP prioritized. Glass cannon AWP. Come on, then. Let's see it. We've not seen this once out of Headtrick.
Ooh, baited out too. Yeah, Hyde spotted it. He's not going to give you anything. I mean, he does have to get out of there. That is the one thing. But Headtrick is going to get smoked off. So he'll have to concede and move elsewhere. Boost up his buddy. His timing could be really good in towards short, but I don't think they're going to pounce immediately. So Headtrick will be allowed to get onto the angle. Just want to be careful just in case that AWP had repos there that quickly.
Yeah, Bait are really starved for info right now. They know that potentially someone could be short. And that's it. Molly goes in towards mid to divert some attention. Essential's got no util. In fact, none of Bait really have any utility left with 1 minute left on the clock. Smoke goes down in towards upper tunnels, but a lurk smoke goes back the other way, and Essentials just starts spamming, starts panicking a little bit. But this isn't the intent for Betera. It looks like they might just end in towards short. Or maybe it's Masval just dropping utility to fake it out and then go mid to B.
I think that is going to be the play from the looks of things. So Headtrick won't be called upon. It's a drop down. That's maybe been spotted. In fact, MPL will deal with it. Now Headtrick can come over. Flash forward to try and support, but the SMG runs him down. Essential needed that kill in the tunnels. He fights forward, and that's cut off half the beast. And Kenzizor on the spray brings on down to 1 HP. Alex had a fantastic timing on that push. He's caught out. With 20 seconds left, 15 seconds, 2 players on the side. Kenzizor being baited. He's being baited. Even if they do find Headtrick, which they do, Kenzizor can win the round on the swing, and he has. A brilliant little bait setup to secure it. Hyde on 1 HP. Nothing to be done.
Absolutely fantastic round out of Headtrick. The fact that he misses the shot, but he goes, no, I'll go default, I won't go ramp. I'll play default, there's no way they expect you there. Kenzizor's just trusting him completely. He's complicit in his plans. Absolutely fantastic round out of Headtrick. Betera, they try too many things. They get undone. You spoke about Essential getting that kill. And that made them panic. That made them go back in towards short, which makes them go back into that double setup. crucial moment as well for the long push to come in as well. Notice how they apply pressure in towards mid to B, and Bait, they don't rest on their laurels. Essential pushes, the long push comes in as well. They take these risks, but it builds up this bigger picture. So many moving pieces for Bait to make that round happen, and it's too complicated for Betera to deal with.
Well, it seemed a risky play to bring out the AWP without armor, especially when he was spotted so early, and you feel like that maybe removes a bit of the potential surprise. And she's still able to find that impact. Potentially a delayed fight out long. Yeah, setting up the flashbangs. Alex has an MP9, so not exactly the weapon for the job for this fight. He'll just run back. Counter flashbangs thrown out, but no follow through. He's going to make his rotation over. Alex, is he looking for time for a swing? Flashbang is good, and all the kills go the other way. MPL gets his as well. A head trick on that angle. He gets deleted. Ice found 2. Essential goes down. It's fast, it's direct, and it's a clean round.
Height has just owned them. He's got the 8K out. He takes off MPL's head. He's ready for head trick on that angle as well. He's an AWPer. He knows where the AWP's going to play. And he's just smashed him. What a shot from height. And it actually feels like Bait had worse weaponry. And as well, it's because they did. It's because they only came out of that alive with 2 left. And now the AWP's gone. Now Kenzie's just going to save his M4. And it's back to business for Betera. Game on.
Love it too, just the pace at it. Completely breaks Bait. They'll be in the lead. Just this M4. I mean, Kensel's having a game, but we need something phenomenal into this one. Hetrick Deeg. Sorry, it hit a few bangers. What's Kensel's play? He's going to come in short. You try and push up middle? Yeah, he's just scaling. Okay, goodbye. Round's done.
Yeah, over in a blink of an eye. Everyone's just being picked apart right now for Bait. Bait look a little bit sluggish. It's a shame because that round, a few rounds ago, the mid-round, all the decisions were absolutely fantastic. And now here, Betera just saying, you know what, we're going to get aggressive. It did work on train, and it will work here. Because you don't allow Bait to go into these mid-rounds. Because you're just killing them in the first 20 seconds. If you make the round decided very early, then you don't have to worry about all of the intricate plans that Bait have got planned for you. So they can't happen.
A shot on the cross. And now you're a little wary about the bush. That's how again going through the motions of taking this control.
Start double B here. Normally it's just Essential left on his own, but no. This time it is Kenzie's all just baiting. Lurk smoke deployed by Tenzi, but they're not going off this. Look at the space in short. And there's no AWP to hold this. Instead it is head trick, but it is with the rifle.
No flash through. Well, flash through, but no follow through. Get out of here, says MPL. He's called over some friends to clear middle, or at least to set up middle. They're really expecting mid to be. So they're going to be sadly disappointed because that's not where this is going. Even if the smokes and flashbangs will insinuate it. That means Hedrick might be in an exposed position. He's going to be deep behind the smokes in short. It's going to be a late play. That is the one cause for concern. They've removed this fake out of mid. Now they should know this is going to be hit through. Hedrick plays anti-flash perfectly. An exposed position doesn't matter. He's won the round. That's the bomb. They already realized that Cynics and Tenzi backing off, but even the exit is closed. Maybe they can fight their way out.
Yeah, what a moment from Hedrick. And I really like his position because it is risky, but the point of doing it is so that Betera aren't going to expect it since the time's so low. So the fact that he's literally just in the open here, 20 seconds for them to coordinate all of this, and they just don't get any of it. Nine rounds each, 30 seconds. For Betera to breathe. Hedrick's really powering up now, and yeah, his moments haven't been on the York, but with the rifle, he's providing significant impact. He's keeping bait in this.
Yeah, Hedrick's really come alive on the CT half after having a bit of a missing map on train. Even a slow first half here. Better set their eyes over towards B early. Height is gonna maybe take the spawn to peek in. Might be giving that fight. They swing past. Sensual feeling the pressure. This charge out is brazen. Leads the trade will come back, but a huge amount of damage done. That was wild.
Oh my god, MPL. He's just running at them. And they escape. They disengage. They never fight MPL. And now this is actually good advantage for MPL. They're just not ready for him. He just swings and takes two. That's the bomb dropped as well. Betera are scrambling. They're completely lost after that brazen play, as you said.
I mean, if you're going to do it, you may as well just full command at that point, I feel. At least Hyde gets a really nice kill onto Alex. So 2v2. Hedrick's going to repause, so he's now locking out this position. They want to make sure there's no chance of the rotation. Can you actually see from Hedrick's position? Or could someone crouch under, potentially?
I think it's fine.
Seems to be confident in it.
MPL's just going to smoke them off now. Brutal.
That timing too. Here comes the flash though. MPL goes down. Oh, fully blinded. Now they can just run into B. Hedrick's nowhere near.
But they don't know that. Height jumps. Shot comes through. Cynics has got to get the bomb over. That's the danger. Cynics never cross with the bomb. So Hedrick's just running away. He's just conceding the fact that it's going to be a save. So they're doing all of this for nothing. Hedrick is nowhere near unless he flanks all the way around in towards tunnels immediately. That could be the way out. He scopes, he looks, but he doesn't press from his position. He's going for exits.
That is unfortunate, but also, I don't know, it's a tricky position to play for MPL. The flashbang is just perfect, obviously, straight in his face. That was the only way they could have lost that round. But I wonder, you know, you've dropped that smoke with, what, 30 seconds left? Maybe you just leave. Because you got Hedrick in middle, like he's going to cover if they do run to A. If you just fall back into B, the smoke's going to buy the time anyway. It's a tough call to make. Can't account for a perfect flash.
My question is, yeah, you've got them boxed in, but do you actually need to play, firstly, that separate, but secondly, that far forward? MPL at that point where he smoked them off, he should just leave. They're going to waste so much time clearing all these angles. You see the bomb was actually planted with like 8 seconds left. That feels like a big oversight. especially after Betera looked completely scrambled, especially after MPL's pushed lower. Then got those 2 kills. And look what it's left them with. Head trick on an AWP because he saved it. Everyone else has basically got nothing. This is going to be 11. This could potentially be Betera taking D2 off bait, knocking them down to that lower bracket.
When Beta done so well of being in a position to take that 10th. The head trick is in the line, misses that first chance. Second time asking, hits the mark, headshot onto Vert, now stays in position, looking for more, punished by Hyde who's deep. Really felt like he needed to get the kills, but the Deagle has found one back. Remember, MPL does have this rifle. No smoke on the cross, bomb has made its way over. They aren't going to plant yet, they want to really make sure that there's some safety in it. Just push from long. Kenzie's all the timing. Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh no, he's made a mare of it. Oh no, a catastrophe. And now the bomb's down. Sure, MPL has this rifle. Okay, Alex has the Deagle. Any more? Bit of damage. Maybe gives MPL a chance, but overcomes Masval to secure it. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Bait.
Oh yeah, if Kenzie's all just gets that kill, it's a completely different story. But again, it's almost a case of what if this series for Bait, because it's like one kill here or there completely changed the dynamic of not only the outcome of some of these rounds, but of the game. It might have all been said and done on train. Think back to those afterparts. How many times Bait are able to get themselves in a position and not able to claim it? Early rounds here in Dust 2, bombed down and not able to claim it. And now we're here at this game state, where Bait, are they going to rue these missed opportunities? 5-7 with Kenzie's or another dramatic opportunity wasted.
Now you don't have that AWP either. Betera running away with this in the final stages. Asfel's going to take the AWP peek out long. He will have a contest on the other side. How fast is his shot? Well, they're actually not going to full peek into it. Just going to drop the util, let him simmer in it, and then they will take control.
Oh, and look at this. Whilst they're being aggressive out long, they get aggressive at B. And Essentials traded out by Tenzi. So now you've got this control. Look at Alex. Alex has just pushed long. And this is going to be her. Look at this. You go around the corner. You're never expecting that. A boost up for height. And between him and Masval, they get rid of Alex, who just makes the most desperate play of them all, pushing long doors. MPL's only got a USP in this round because he bought an M4 in the last. And they're still boosting. They are still boosting in mid and holding. Betera are bleeding out Bait.
MPL sitting on this smoke. He's about to feel the pressure. 2 players on the other side. This boost might actually find success too, because Bait are getting curious. They're going to start to push short. Does the boost see this position? Oh, MPL, messy. Will be okay though. Actually does a fair bit of damage back. Now the push through lowers, but they're anticipating.
Well, we've seen it on the boost, right?
And okay, what? How's he gotten 2 from there? They start to extend out long. Time now does become an issue. That's how we'll drop that smoke over. They can start to cross. MPL is close by in CT. Player in short 2. Spotted. The AWP looking forward. High can't find his shots. Masval can't either. Kenzie's all. What a round.
Yeah, mega. 4 kills in it. Maybe the boost didn't see Kenzie's all cross, but they were still ready potentially for that fight, but they just couldn't trade him. They couldn't trade him. They go in towards long. Head trick hears it from top middle. He sets Kenzie's all up for success. 4 kills in it. 1 round in it. And Betera are all in. We spoke about the money woes for Bait, but at the same time, look, Height's got the AWP, but it's a Mac 10, it's a Galil, it's a Tech 9. Bait could steal this away.
What a banger we're getting here. Towards short. Hedrick will start to slowly drift back. 2 players locked down into that B bomb site. So they're going to concede this middle space. Play more on each side. Hedrick actually, yeah, okay, he's going to move towards Carp. Dancing between these 2 pauses. They haven't really shown their hand as to their intentions into this round just yet.
Oh, that's a bit scary. He's trying to give the util to MPO, who finally does pick it up. 1 minute left, you can then start cycling these smokes and the incendiaries in the next few moments. MPL's got a T-molly as well he can use to deploy. Betera have really been, again, just bleeding out this clock so consistently. It's come back to bite them in a number of scenarios. MPL's now going to drop this smoke. It's so well timed. They have to go through it if they want to fight short, or they wait 20 seconds and they risk this 5v5.
Gotta commit.
They're going.
MPL sees the drop. Hedrick finds the kill on the 10th here. Still no players down here. Hedrick's found another. Getting picked apart. This long play is so late as well. These players on site need to get it done, and somehow they have. The MAC-10 overwhelmed MPL. How have they managed to burst through? Kenzie's low in essential. Now scaling up short quickly. Cynics is low. Masval stuck on the site. But a util comes forward, doing some damage. They start to move together as a unit. Charging out, they know they've got to play a pin here. Flashbang comes over, can't be dodged, and they will fall 1 by 1. It's Betera that finds series point.
That flashbang is amazing. That flashbang is so good just over the top at long. And then it's the default player and the ramp player swinging on the same side. Just on a little bit of an island are these bait players, but that flashbang just completely ruins them. I do not know how after the drop down into CT from Cynics causes that much commotion, MPL's attention turned, Hedrick's attention turned, then actually never worrying about the entirety of the bomb site. And now it's this faster play out long. Alex holds his nerve and drops that incendiary so they can't fight it. Masval is still licking and just taking all of these burns to his feet. Nade goes deep. Alex, oh my gosh.
Come on.
You're kidding me.
It wasn't even on his screen. Outrageous. So now you've got AKs, you've got a 2-player advantage. Betera running out of options. It's just his 5-7 on Kenzie's AWP. MPL's got the FAMAS close by. They're going for the contact play. Now they start to make noise. Molly goes forward. Hyde falls back. There comes the swing. It's MPL actually that gets the kill. You know, players on each side. Continuing to get picked apart. Essentials push through in towards B halls as well. So I think maybe just looking to hold on to these weapons for the final round of play if they are allowed to. It'll be a long save. Again, Bait probably don't want to push the issue too much, especially if Third finds that kill.
No, you don't. Because what you want to do here is you want to just keep everything because your money is still not very good. And with that smoke, that just concedes the idea that Betera will be saving. This could go overtime because the money that Height and Vert are going to have is nothing. The money that Cynics has is only valuable. Nice shot out of Height. I don't think you want to be committing this much if you're Bait. They're trying to kill them after time. They're trying to leave them with nothing. Height cannot afford to go for this kill. So he won't get it. One more round for Bait for OT. One more round for Betera and they win.
Of course, it had to come down like this after each team stomped out their map picks. 13-6, 13-6. You can see it in the top right corner. Oh, it's got OT written all over it. Look at the money that Masval and Tenzi are working with. 1,400. At least Height has that up. This is not the situation you want to be in when you are in the position to take this series. We go OT and everything changes. Gloves are off. Bates' money worries cease at that stage. Essential, you should sell that MP9 and your head trick should drop you one. So you can get your full set of util. And even a kit.
Okay, we don't have to wait too long for the tech. I was worried. Series point for Betera. What are they going to do with these Tech 9s? Surely, obviously, you're going to send them somewhere for the AKs to trade, but is it going to be quick? We know how slow these rounds have been, but how much do Betera want to gamble on a faster play? Height's got the long spawn. He goes for the swing, but Alex isn't going to give it to him.
Flashback. Really wants to get this control. Height gets 2 chances, but nothing offered up. Alex has been doing a great job, actually, this long control, hasn't he? It's going to be very direct. This is just going to be a short hit to try and end it. Hedrick is here with an AK, not the AWP, but he has full set of utility.
Oh, they're going.
He's going to need it. Here comes the hit. HE, great. A lot of damage. A flash behind. They're going to be on him before he knows it. Yeah, he's fiddling with his nades and he gets run down. He burns one out, but Masval, long range, hits Tech 9 headshot. Essential's going to charge up, though. MP9 in hand. He's found a frag. Look at the HP. It is not good. It is really not good. And Essential's found another. But with the AK, has found a kill back. And Tenzi as well. It's all onto MPL. A 1v1 to decide if we go OT, and we will. It's MPL with the 1 versus 2. 12 to 12. We run it back.
What an insane couple of moments there. For Bait and for Betera, because Masval hits the most ridiculous, disgusting Tech 9 kills at long range, and then Vert and Tenzi just get kills back, and MPL has to do it all. It takes matters into his own hands. It's one of the last bullets in the magazine of the M4, and there's no rest for the wicked. We just go again. We go immediately into overtime, and as you say, all money restocked for both teams. No AWP for Height, a straight AK. This indicates something really quick.
A lot of players leading B here early. 4, in fact, out the gate. Just going to burst into B. A wild play to make. Essential's here with the secondary AWP, so Bait, who, yeah, he is on an MP9 for almost that entire half, gets a pretty decent upgrade. Here comes a set of utility, a lurk smoke. Not the commitment just yet behind it. Flash, HE blows, this will give him the chance, almost the lineup. Kentizor's takedown 2 as well. So 13, more than assured. Or get a little too keen, maybe. I've found a couple. He's already being locked in. Be a little careful. CTs are very isolated right now. Knight does have time to work with. He's managed to thread through. They should be aware this opening is towards long. See, the MPL is in fact holding that from deep CT. There's no smoke for Height to be able to cross. He'll have to either just go dry or use that flashbang to try and get over. But if he can get across, Hedrick will be coming out through short.
No.
They realize now it has to be this play. Alright, we'll spot out one. MPL noted, and Hedrick will tap him out. Takes a few, but they get it done. Yeah,
and look, apart from those kills the Height gets, that was essentially flawless, right? Because it was 4 kills going in the favor of Bait, 0 going back the other way of Betera. Double AWP. It was a remedy that they used on Train to good effect on CT side, and now it's a remedy that they tried to use on Dust too, and to good effect. Essential and Head Trick now wielding both of these weapons. And Bait make good on MPL's clutch. That 1 versus 2. They draw first blood here in OT. And our height has reacquainted himself with the AWP, so at least he's got something to work with now. And his AWPing's been very good.
Maswell, you gotta be careful, buddy. Yeah, head trick close by, both AWPs strike true. Okay, we've kicked up a gear in OT. Tenzi will find a kill, but it's a little too late, and Essential's still here, and yeah, he's really hitting his shots with the AWP. I don't know where this bait was during regulation, but they've come alive in OT. 2 very clean rounds out the gate.
It's because they don't have that financial burden anymore. It's because they've actually got things to work with, and they weren't having rounds just stolen away from them. They've never been comfortable all series, apart from Mirage. They've never actually had a good streak of rounds. Except for when they're trying to maintain a little bit of a comeback. But Betera have been making them really frustrated. And height, that is a banger on Kenzie Zor. We don't see it apart from in the feed, but it was definitely through the double doors.
Oh, and immediately as that kill comes through, 2 go the other way. Headtrick and MPL find theirs. It's going to be this fight out long continuing. Alex splash through. Oh, height actually able to avoid it. Gets the kill. Now Marcel just crawls in. 3 CTs close by. Smoke will land. Headtrick gets up close. Essential can flash through this. Yeah, Marcel's already close by. They did not know he was that close. So between him and Hyde, they will get 1 in this T half for Betera.
Yeah, that's something, at least. The fact that they're able to take these fights out long, the fact that Masval is close and they're just not ready for it. More than enough for Betera, you feel. Remember how that CT side started? They were playing some incredibly good Counter-Strike. And Bait had to readjust and adapt. It's the slower rounds that were getting Bait the majority of their success. It was Betera overthinking things. But when it was Betera getting aggressive, that's why they were finding good opening kills. So that's that Furia buy when they pushed through lower tunnels and upper tunnels, able to get those 2 trades. I don't want to see them just sort of give all the control over, because if you give the map control to Bait, they're going to run away with the game. But if you fight for it quite proactively, especially with the form that Height's in, that Tenzi is now starting to achieve here, you've definitely got a conversation here, Betera.
Hopefully not too long of a delay before we get this one underway. An action-packed 3rd map. Exactly what this series deserved. They did a great T half in regulation. Remember, 7-5 half was what they posted. So it was where they did the majority of their work. So you feel like 2 CT rounds feels great for them. MPL's got the spawn to take the long peek. We'll see what success he can find.
Nothing. And Vert gets up close. He makes it over around the corner. I'm not sure if MPL is going to be anticipating how quick Vert has just scaled. There could be something to consider a little bit later on. Lower tunnels are established. Vert, there's no way he swings this. He's going to tuck himself into the corner. I don't think you're going to anticipate him. Alex needs to clear this.
Okay, Vert. He'll get the kill.
He got him.
Clean. Listen, job's done.
Oh,
might even get banged. Essentials found a kill back onto Tenzi. Let's put some pressure over on B. Vert
why
will
did he
get
do
removed.
that? Did you see that? He just ran through the long doors.
Yeah, that's not necessary.
He tried to go through on the AWP when he was sort of cocking back the chamber.
Too cocky.
Height here at B. Molly's really good. Shot has missed him, and now he's stuck, and he burns alive. Can't deploy the smoke in time, and he's still got this mid play out of Bait as well. Look at Kenzie Zor. He's found both.
What?
Series point this time, not for Betera, but for Bait.
How do you get both there? That's unbelievable. All
Felt like
Beta.
Betera gave them that round there.
Yeah, that was a little bit crazy. I mean, the less said about Long, the better. But like, come on, you managed to get that kill for all the hard work it was. Why push? And then Height with a bit of an awkward moment. That was close.
Little do they know, if they go B right now, which they won't know because of the mid-doors cross smoke, that's the right answer. Height, I'm scared for you. They're just going to walk mid. Oh, they've got no idea. Height's got no idea this is happening. Masval's back turned. Locking in towards Car. This space. Oh, this should win the entire series for Bait. Head trick gets rid of Tenzi. Kenzie Zor's going to get rid of Masval in just a moment. That's it. That's bombed down. That's 5v3. There's no way in. It's a good response out of Height. But Kenzie Zor's up close by the doors. So is MPL. Surely there's no way for Betera to retake this.
Look at the T's in this post plant. There's only one even near the bomb site. There's three crossfired in middle. Gotta get past Kenzie Zor, and even that's too difficult to do. And MPL will slide through. So for Bait, it takes OT to get it done. Betera had their chance. They found series point first, but as Bait, in OT, they shine.
Hilariously, we were the first map on the official broadcast to go map 3 when the other guys were in map 2. And we're the last broadcast to finish because they all ended 2-0 as well. Navi Junior versus Rush B still ongoing. They went overtime in map 3-2. But for Sinners, they took down Parivision 2-0, relegating Parivision to play Zero Tenacity. And then it was Zero Tenacity to also beat Spirit Academy. Here, Bait beats Betera, so Betera go down to the lower bracket where they play the winner of Navi Junior versus Rush B. And for Bait, they've got a date with Sinners.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting game. I think that's definitely the two favorite teams, so very keen to see them play. Bait, for all of their incredible run lately, this wasn't the cleanest series, and there's some clear gaps in their map pool. I think Train is an obvious punish against them now, and I think many teams are going to be aware of this. You can either go Train or Nuke, so if you've got that up your back pocket and you feel like you've got a decent chance against this team, but they prevailed today, get put through their paces by Betera, who surprised me, to be honest. I wasn't really, especially after map 1, I really didn't think they'd have so much gusto. They've really impressed. I think Height in particular, I mean, I know you kind of said he was the guy to watch. He's the one that's, super exciting, the one that's turning heads. Golly, he is great. Like, this guy is insane.
He's really good, and he doesn't get enough credit because, I mean, respectfully, not many people are going to be fans of Betera. Not many people are going to be fans of Amcal until they made that major run last year. It's one of these things where you've got to keep your eye out on the talent in Tier 2, Tier 3. And the fact that Height got dropped by Melodoy, who's now obviously in Furia, I'm glad that he's still playing with the same amount of consistency because he is very good, and I'm excited to watch his career develop along the way. For Bait, there were moments in this game where it felt like a switch just flicked and they were just completely on fire, and then there were others where they were asleep at the wheel. You got to remember that this Bait victory wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that MPL 1v2 where he has to spray transfer a ridiculous headshot on a pixel. If it wasn't for that, Masval's Tech 9 would have sent Bait to the lower bracket. Instead, it is Betera that resides in the lower bracket, waiting to see their opponent off stream of Navi Junior or Rush B. That's it for all of the official broadcasts today for Challenger League. Thank you so much for hanging out and tuning in with us. The conclusion of Challenger League is imminent, and the broadcast will be over the next few days. It's going to be Bait versus Sinners in the upper bracket, and their opponent still yet to be determined in the lowers. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to production. Have a great evening, everyone, and we'll see you real soon. Bye bye. Take care. Have a good night.
Think you've seen it all? With Faceit Watch's Point of View Selector, you can experience the game from any pro's perspective. Use the multi-view feature and customize the stream with up to 4 angles. Control what points you see while earning rewards. Drops are activated and lucky winners will receive Faceit points. And if you ever miss a match, VODs are now available. Get instant access to demos with multiple POVs and commentary. Watch it, control it, Faceit.